Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good morning. Welcome on in. Let me just switch some stuff around quickly because otherwise I'll forget to do it later. Just so that my keyboard isn't on full display. Good morning, Nate. I hope you're doing well. And Goat, good morning. I hope you're both doing good. There we go. Okay. You're not going to be able to see it initially anyway, but otherwise... Oh, and the bell's going. Jesus Christ, welcome to stream. Everything's happening. Oh dear. Actually, that's probably the groceries coming. Yes. Oh, damn it. They have my pan and chocolate. I want that. God damn it. It's okay. I can go get my pan and chocolate later. But they'd come a little bit earlier. I could have had it for breakfast. But you know what? Fair. It's fair. They could have come any time before midday, so really this is still quite early. Oh dear. Doing well, thanks. Good morning. I hope you're well as well. I'm all right. I am a little bit fragile, to be honest, because I've had 2 nights in a row where I've been quite I have had migraines, but my migraine symptoms changed. But the last couple of nights I've been quite sicky, so my throat's feeling a little bit raspy and every night I'm feeling ill kind of thing. So I figured probably today wasn't the best day to do a music stream, just because I don't look that well either. I feel fine now, to be fair. I have pretty much recovered, but I was kind of have to be on screen for a music stream, and I don't know if I really want people to see my face today. So here we are. We're not doing it today. Depending on what happens tomorrow, I might actually do something a little different tomorrow. I have been very inspired by Eurovision fashion, so tomorrow we might do... It depends, obviously, what my energy levels are like, but if I'm feeling good, I might do a challenge stream tomorrow for fun. What a pain. Yeah, you're right. Teresa, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. Poe, 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 Poe. Good morning, George. I hope you managed to get some sleep after Eurovision last night. If you didn't know, someone, who was it that did the song? Was it Austria? They did a whole song about Edgar Allan Poe, and the chorus was just Poe, 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 Edgar Allan Poe. And I kept flashing up imagery of him in the background. It was so funny. Honestly, last night needed an act like that because there were so many ballads. It's we need one. We need at least one silly act. I've opened a pay for coach to London hotel for the night in London, flight to Japan, and first flight to Tokyo. Oh my god! Heck yeah! Honestly, that's not even that long. That's only a few months away. That's very heckin' exciting, Teresa. Heck yeah. Poe, 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 Poe. Welcome on in, Anime. I hope you're doing well. I had a few hours either side of Eurovision. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, last night really was the night of ballads. If you didn't watch the second semi-finals for Eurovision yesterday, I can kind of summarize it. It was just ballads. For some reason, Eurovision split up the entries so that all of the really interesting and exciting entries, not that yesterday's wasn't good, but the majority of the more unusual acts were all on Tuesday. And so yesterday it was just ballad after ballad after ballad, and the vocalists are great. And I don't mind a good ballad, but 10 ballads in a row or something is that's a bit much for me personally. You get balladed out and everyone starts to blur together. So yeah, I wasn't disappointed in the artist, but I was a little disappointed in the way that Eurovision split the countries up, just because it felt a little unfair. And I felt like some of the entries from Tuesday would have actually done much better if they'd been with the Thursday batch, and vice versa, because everyone would have stood out a little bit more. Oh dear. But I mean, it's like that sometimes. I will say the people that have got through to the finals are all really, really good. And I am very excited. I think the finals tomorrow are going to be fantastic. For those who aren't aware, I'm not going to be live streaming the finals just because I have been quite ill in the evenings and I don't want to have to put that pressure on myself. But we are going to be doing the watch along in the Discord, which we've done for the last couple semi-finals as well, where it's really fun. We all just get in the group chat and we'll be typing to each other and yeah, this is great, I love this one kind of thing. And then I have it playing over, so I'm live streaming it from the YouTube, just because there are some people that can't access the YouTube page, just because it's only open to certain countries and stuff like that. To be honest, I use a VPN, But it is just the stream of Eurovision, and again, it is on YouTube. But I stream it from there for anyone who doesn't have access to that right now. Dear, most of Australia's entries have been ballads. Whoever's like different this year. I actually really your entry last year, I loved it, but it definitely wasn't going to be for everyone. There was drag, yeah. Well, I feel like drag and Eurovision do go together pretty damn well. And like, there's been quite a few drag acts, like as performers, like representing the countries over the years at Eurovision. Like, it's kind of just drag and Eurovision. It just goes together very well. I mean, when you look at what Eurovision is, it works. Oh dear. I'm pondering the day of the final because I have work. I mean, I'm sure if you can't make it, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you would still enjoy it afterwards. You could always hold your own watch party as well, George. I mean, I don't have the monopoly on watch parties. You could always do a belated watch party on Sunday or something where you go back and watch it. Again, it would be on the YouTube. The only thing the YouTube doesn't have is your country's commentary on it because it's like open for the whole world. But yeah, I mean, that works well for me because I like the commentary and stuff, but I do honestly like the acts a lot, so just being able to go act to act is pretty good. Oh dear. Yeah, I liked Australia's entry last year. It was a very dramatic ballad, but I liked the sentiment. It was nice, but unfortunately it didn't do quite so well. I think as well last year, ballads weren't really doing quite as well, or ballads are songs. I think because the whole of Eurovision had quite an upbeat feel because obviously there was so much going on and it was like, let's just do upbeat songs. The ballads maybe got a little overshadowed last year because it was like not really the year for ballads, whereas this year I could see them doing all right. I really liked, was it Armenia? I can't remember. I know that I voted 3 times last night and all the countries I voted for started with A. So like, who was it that I voted for? Because it's A, and A. It was definitely Australia and Austria. And then I think it was Armenia, and I think they did a ballad, and I liked their ballad a lot. Yeah, I think that was who I voted for. I should remember.
This year is ballads heavy for sure.
Whoa, Vile, welcome on in, and thank you. Whoa, for 25 months, Jesus Christ. Thank you so much. Vile, can I say, I had a nightmare with you in it last time. I had a dream that you sent a book to my parents' house with all the reasons that I was a bad streamer. I woke up like, what? And like, but like not to me, you said it's like my parents being like, Jelly does this, 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 and this, and I felt like you told on me. Oh my god. Yeah. I woke up like, wait, what's going on? Why is Vile sending messages to my parents? What's happening? Oh, dude, I remember getting really stressed out. Like, in my dream, I was, like, proper stressed out about it. I was like, oh my god, Vile hates me. And then I woke up like, why would Vile ever send... Vile doesn't know where my parents live. Also, because I guess this was a dream, it wasn't even my parents' current house. It was my parents' old house that they were still at. So, like, yeah... I guess in the past, maybe you sent a book to my parents that had all the reasons that I'm a bad streamer in it. Oh my god. Also, welcome on in, Val. Yeah, yesterday was very ballads heavy. I will say though, there was like one ballad on Tuesday. So like, even though yesterday was ballads heavy, I think that it will actually balance out pretty well because yeah, Tuesday had like no ballads. It's so random. It sounds like a bad thing to do. Yeah, I have a lot of dreams to be fair. I normally have like, I want to say 2 or 3 dreams a night that I remember because I wake up a lot in the night. So like, because I guess they wake me up, I remember them more maybe. I'm not exactly sure what the logic is, but I think that's probably why. But yeah, it's not super common that I dream about anyone in particular. And I guess Vile wasn't in my dream. It was just like, I guess the concept of Vile. Sending a message to my parents. Oh dear. But yeah, that was my dream, one of my dreams last night. Oh dear. Honestly, it's the main one I remember because I think it was the one I woke up to with my alarm clock. Yeah, it's the idea of that. Like, you were not a physical entity in my dream. The only physical entity was like the book of all the bad things I do as a streamer. And like, it was stuff like she bullies her audience, and I was like, do I? I don't know, I feel like they bully me. I don't feel like I bully them. Oh dear. Yeah, because I was also around my parents' house for some reason. I don't get me wrong, I do visit my parents, but like that's not their house anymore. Sure, yeah, your dream me had an idea. Oh dear. I always find it quite funny when you dream about people that are actually in your life though. Oh dear. Like obviously I have dreams about Shiny sometimes where I'll wake them up and be like, oi oi, you said this to me in a dream last night. Shiny be like, what? Oh dear. Oh my god, you sent out an email about Amok. Oh, so we might have new Vala motes soon. That's very heckin' exciting. Oh, I did actually, I wanted to send it to you. I did actually find, I don't think necessarily, actually, if you've already found an emote artist, I guess you don't need it. I found a VTuber that like specifically does like pixelated VTubers. And I was like, that's really cool. So they make like pixel VTubers, and they move just like a VTuber, but it looks like it's on like an old games console. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. But then I didn't know if they did emotes or if they only did VTubers, but I guess you've already found somebody. Oh dear. That's what I get for forgetting things. Speaking of forgetting things, I've just remembered something that I need to do. And I forgot. There are things I feel like this week I've just forgotten to do for like an entire week. Oh my god. None of it's like super important. No, I will survive. Ah dear. But yeah, the plan tomorrow, we will have some builders over, I think, in the morning tomorrow. So it might be a little loud initially, but the plan is to kind of like power through that, because I kind of want to do a challenge stream tomorrow. Let me have a sip of my tea. I kind of want to do a bit of a challenge stream because I haven't done one for a while, and I've been feeling very inspired by Eurovision, where I kind of thought it'd be fun to make like a Eurovision outfit in like for Eurovision. Not that you'll see it because I'm going to be watching it like in a watch along in the evening, but I thought that would be kind of fun because there have been some fantastic outfits so far this year. Yesterday was the day of pink suits. Everyone seemed to have a pink suit. Oh, and I switched over to OBS and already have new bots and redeems. I love OBS. The thing is, Streamlabs OBS is really good, especially when you're starting out, because a lot of the stuff is like right there for you, so you don't have to worry about setup and all of that kind of stuff. But OBS, while it doesn't have as much built into it, it's like for expanding and doing new things, it's great. It's just great. Like, it's much, I think, easier to add stuff to OBS, and there's a lot more plugins and stuff for OBS than there is for Streamlabs OBS. But both are good. Lots of it. There is. I don't remember her name, but the blonde presenter in the first semi-finals had the most beautiful rainbow dress, and then the Ukrainian presenter had like a leather dress with fire at the bottom. And like whenever they were stood next to each other, it was so fun. It was just like the night and day. They looked so cool together. Oh yeah, diff. Oh, the rainbow dress. I love the rainbow dress. I don't think I'll be able to make that very easily. That's a lot of like, well, it's a lot of fabric and it's a lot of thin fabric. I don't know if I have a lot of fabric like that lying around, because I would kind of use stuff that I already have in my store because I don't want to go buy more stuff. Oh, so Scott, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. So yeah, that's kind of the thought, but we'll see what happens. I need to go through my fabric stuff, and also if I'm just not feeling very well, we'll do like a regular stream tomorrow. I would like to play more Honkai at some point, but I'm also like nervous to do it because I've been playing a lot of it, and I'm like, do I want to come on stream and be judged for how much I've been playing Honkai Railstar? And then the people be like, Jenny, you keep having all these really bad migraines. Why do you keep having all these really bad migraines? Maybe it's because I keep playing Honkai Star Rail. For like 4 hours at a time. Oh dear, but it's really fun. I'm having a really good time with it. I'm really enjoying the combat in that game. I didn't think I would enjoy it that much. I thought that'd be like the bit that I'd like the least, to be honest, because more modern turn-based combat normally is like, ugh. But this one, oh my god, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's so much fun, and like the turn-based works really well, like the swapping the characters and making different parties works really well. It's just so fun, and it's like I haven't spent any money on it, and I haven't actually wanted to spend any money on it, if that makes sense. I already had the 5-star from the banner. I got lucky. People are gonna be really mad at me because people have paid a lot of money to get that character. I got really lucky. I had like the odd ticket lying around, and I just throw it that way every now and again, and I got her. I'm not gonna like max out a constellation or anything, but I do have her, and actually she's really good. You know what, I've always kind of been like a bit iffy on the 5-star characters, because I think for the most part it's aesthetics rather than like the combat stuff, but actually I really like her. She's really fun to play, and she's pretty, and yes, I'm happy. Jem, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I'm just gonna take another sip of my tea. Again, you're gonna have to excuse me. I'm probably gonna be a little bit more raspy today than I am normally. My throat's just a bit banged up, honestly, after the last couple of days. It is what it is. It is what it is. I think at this point it's a little better, so like, I don't think it should be getting any worse anymore. Oh dear. Heck. Nighttimes are not my friend, that's for sure, but it does mean sometimes I dream of my moderation team bullying me. Delicious. Delicious. Right. Should we get the top down? Get the top down. I can show you, I didn't really get a lot of extra work done. Once again, you can kind of just blame Honkai Railstar for that. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Hands. So we have got... This one is the one that I've started. We've already finished the first one of the two. I'd like to get this one done as well so that we can paint these. And these are going to be 2 mini ones. And the reason I'm doing these ones now is because I want to put the edges on like with these ones. So I want to have an example of the light purple and the dark purple. These ones get edged with dark, like a silverish kind of color. Rather than the gold. So I want to see them next to each other and make sure that I'm happy with the vibe, because this is kind of the vibe of the whole costume and I haven't really done any tests. So yes, that's the plan. Ah dear. I'm alright, thanks. New bathroom getting done today and tomorrow. So you're gonna be able to hide, honestly, relatable. Me too. I hide every weekend in this room.
Radioactive.
Radioactive. I got so quick. Why are you guys being so quick? Thanks, Goat. Also, Goat, I hope Arkham is going well for you. Heck yeah, I saw Dem was playing some Arkham this morning. It looks fun. Oh, breathing in the chemicals. Oh, Dinya, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Ah, dear. This is the line of progress right now. These two are done. And I like them a lot. Like they've got like it's difficult for my light to catch them, to be honest, but they've got like a little bit of embroidery up the side in gold as well. So they got like this little embroidery pattern with some beads in it. And then oh no, special superpowers. Heck yeah, it's superpower time. I hope I find it's me and not shift you with them. It's just like, I think that's how dreams go, right? They don't really make a lot of sense. If I went to like someone who could read dreams and I was like, my moderator bullied me in my dream, I don't know what they would say about that. I hope the radioactive, maybe it's a Time Lord. Ooh. Where would you go to? Like, where would you go back in time to if you were a Time Lord? Or forward in time to be fair. Would you go forward in time? Do you want spoilers? Oh dear. I was like, would I want to go? I don't know if I think the idea of like moving in time is like one of the ones where I'm like, I just don't think I could do it. Like, I just don't think it would suit me, so I'm just rolling my sleeves up. My camera doesn't like that very much. Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I think it'll make me very, very anxious. Like, I might see something like I don't want to, which I guess is kind of inevitable anyway, but yeah, I don't know. Might be too anxious for a skill like that. All of space and time. That's true actually, yeah, because you can travel in space as well, can't you? I forgot about that. Oh, where would I go if I could go anywhere? I guess it kind of would depend what was out there, because, you know, like how Doctor Who goes, there's a lot of things you don't know until you see the episode. Where would I go? Like, actually, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I guess the space I'd really like, because like I could go to TwitchCon like Vegas, no problem. Like if I had the powers of a Time Lord, easy peasy, traveling to Vegas would be like nothing. In fact, actually that's probably what I would use it for. I'd probably use it more for like just general teleportation purposes than I would for the time part. I'd be like, I want to go to Vegas, but it's really far away and really expensive for me to get to. Do that, yes. What? Is this the one which has a knot in it? It is, isn't it? Okay, I'll trim this one. I thought there was a reason I stopped using this thread. I should have just removed it. There's a teeny tiny knot in it. It's not terrible, but this is like a relatively delicate fabric, so I want to be a bit careful. Eden, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. How goes it? I'm ready to see David's return. Or return to Doctor Who. Or David's return to Doctor Who. Sorry. Oh dear. Yeah, they were I think when I was like watching it still, they were the one that did a lot of the really good episodes. Oh dear. But I don't know, would I get back into... I feel like I've missed so much Doctor Who at this point that it's a bit daunting to get back into it. Because I stopped watching about the time where Peter Capaldi started. So like right after... I think I watched the first season of Is his name Peter Capaldi? It feels like it's not Peter Capaldi. What's his name? I think it's just... I just call him Capaldi because I'm like 99% sure that's his second name. I started around... Like I ended around that time. I watched Eccleston to Capaldi, but I didn't watch all of Capaldi. Oh dear, I don't know. First of all, I really didn't like Clara. Not like the actress, I'm sure, like, or anything like that. I just didn't like the character of Clara very much, to be honest. Didn't gel with me. Wasn't my favorite. So any of the episodes that she was in, I was just a bit like, on. I don't know. Not my favorite character ever, to be honest. Oh, it's Peter! It is Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi. Going well on the train. It's a connection. Oh, heading south to where the sun is and friend is. Oh, lovely. I hope you have a lovely weekend then, Ian. I'm assuming you're going away for the weekend? I didn't watch a lot of the 13th. Which one was it? Okay, wait, so... The 10th... Was the 10th Eccleston? I can't remember. I feel Eccleston and then who's the Scottish one? who is that? It's Tennant. Eccleston, Tennant, and then Matt Smith. And then I think Capaldi. So I guess Capaldi is the 30th then no. It's early. Oh dear, so I guess I started at the 9th? Although I'd watched some of the ones before because my parents showed them to me. So I wasn't coming in, I guess, completely blind because like I had seen the ones before. But it had been a while. Oh dear, but I knew about like the Cyberman and the Daleks and all that. Oh dear, 9 was Eccleston, got you. I was like, for some reason thought 10 was Eccleston, but no. 10 is Tennant, which makes sense. 10 Tennant. Duh. Of course 10 is Tennant. Oh my god! Oh, wait, let me just get my thread knotted off. There you go. Welcome on in. How is your stream and what did you get up to? G3I, I hope you're doing well. Hello. Oh dear, let me just G and then oh my god, wait, then that's the new one. All right, no spoilers. Are you enjoying it though? Is it good? Are you having a good time? This is one of those games where like I have played Breath of the Wild and I love Breath of the Wild, but I'm holding off because I have such high expectations. I'm holding off, and also, why did they make Ganon so sexy? What the heck? Excuse me. I can't play that on stream anymore. It's too hot for Twitch. Oh dear, I hope you're doing well though. I hope you're having a really good time. You love it. It's so much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna be holding off until I see like a couple people give good reactions, and then if I like it, I'll get it then, because I loved Breath of the Wild, to be honest. First game that I got on Switch. I think it was a lot of people's first game on Switch, and so I've been waiting. But yeah, I don't know if I'll play it on stream though. That's the thing, because I played the other one off stream. Ganondorf is, yeah, I know. Like, what the heck? I keep seeing all these pictures of him on Twitter. I'm like, oh. I wasn't ready for that so early in the morning. Jesus. Oh my god, yeah, Vile, thank you. You did it. A mod duty. Thank you for my mod duty. Oh dear. Too hot. Way too hot for Twitch. What the heck? Oh dear. I'm gonna play Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, are you? Or let me know what you think of it as well then. I hope you have a really good time with it. To be fair, I feel like you will. I think it's gonna be good. But I am, I'm being a little careful. Oh, congrats, Vile, on doing the mod duty. I love Breath of the Wild, and it's super different, but it's amazing. Heck yeah! Oh, God. Honestly, I forgot that was, because was that today or was that yesterday? It was like just come out, right? Ooh, very heckin' exciting. Oh, I can't wait to see some other people give it a go, and then oh, maybe play it myself. Maybe not on Twitch, but we'll see. We'll see. The I'm doing my part tag. Thanks, Vile. Also, I should say, G3, if you need to go look after yourself, if you need to go, like, get any snacks or have a rest after stream, obviously, please do. You're more than welcome here, and we love to have you here, but if you need to look after yourself, you know what to do. Oh, dude, there's Vile. God, I always forget that that's Vile's shout out. So many Vile alerts. It was literally the middle, so I'm gonna go to like, oh no, you're fine, Vile. Get some sleep. Thank you so much for the mod duty. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, take care of yourself. Get your Z's. It just came out a few hours ago. Ooh. I haven't gone through the first area, and you were live for 5 hours? I can't. Okay, another thing that I can't wait for, speedruns of this game. I can't wait to see people start rooting out the speedrun for it, because the speedruns for Breath of the Wild was so fun. Yeah, I can't wait to watch the routers do some speedrun and stuff for it. Get the good Z's, heck yeah. Oh dear. Oh, I have the 5 cats to speed. Oh, yes. Well, listen, that's more important than anything I'm doing here. You're gonna feed those cats. Oh dear. You have to fast. Heck. I hate that, but yeah, that sucks. Good luck. I hope that there's like, I don't know, some kind of like good food place nearby so that afterwards you can just treat yourself to a nice meal. That's what we always did. Like if I had to fast for anything, it was right next to a KFC so like it worked really, really well. So like growing up, whenever I had to do like fasting for like tests and stuff, as soon as I was out of the hospital, we'd go straight to the KFC. Maybe that's why I have such positive memories of KFC. Because every time when I had been like not eaten for like 2 days or something, my parents would take me to KFC and I'd be like, sweet, glorious fried chicken. Oh dear. I hope there is a good food place nearby so that you can have a similar experience afterwards. But otherwise, yeah, get your good Z's, Vile. Oh dear, so much snack. 100% snack. Oh, I haven't really introduced myself to the Raiders. I'm so sorry. Professional streamer here. Hello, hi, my name is Jelly. I am a cosplayer crafter in the UK. I do VTuber commissions and I make cosplays. At the moment, we're working on a really, really big cosplay that I want to eventually take to a competition, but that won't be till next year. We're working on doing some smocking. Smocking is the process of knotting and manipulating fabric into patterns. This is where we're at. This is where it will become like this. And then once we've finished with all of the extra beading and detailing, this is what it ends up looking like. So it's kind of like the stages of smocking. It starts out looking kind of messy, and then it looks kind of like a pattern, but still sort of messy, and then you neaten it out so it looks like a really pretty pattern. Yeah. That's what we are doing. Good night, Vile. Yeah, get some good sleeps, Vile. Especially if you've got a busy day tomorrow. Oh, actually, though, we all have a busy day tomorrow, right, everyone? Because it's Eurovision tomorrow, so we all have a busy day, right? Everyone's busy for Eurovision. Oh dear, I love it. I do still think one of my favorite parts of Eurovision is when people haven't watched it before or are a bit newer to Eurovision coming into it. It's really fun because Eurovision's like a very fun thing. Like it's camp, it's silly, it's cheesy, but like. It's just a fun time. It's difficult to explain, I guess, but it's really nice when you see someone coming into it for the first time who's like been interested but never like gone in for the Eurovision experience. It's really, really nice. And like this is the second year running that we've done something for it in this channel because like I love Eurovision. I've loved it for a long time. And like last year we had some Americans join us for the first time, and it was really, really nice, and it was lovely. And like again, you just kind of, it's a whole culture around Eurovision here, so like bringing people into it, it's like, yes, it's so much fun. This sips tea in US American. Do you I'm assuming Eurovision is not one that you tend to participate in too much. It's really fun. I'd say, how to put it? How would you describe Eurovision? It's like a lot of camp, a lot of like cheese, a lot of sarcasm if you watch with the commentary, but like overall a good time. It's really, really fun, and like I think the thing with Eurovision, it kind of reminds me kind of a little bit of the Super Bowl. Like, even if you don't, like, you know how, like, with the Super Bowl, like, a lot of people watch it, even if they don't watch all the American football leading up to it, because the Super Bowl is an event. It's like, it's not just the game, it's the adverts, it's the halftime show, it's everything like that. It's kind of like Eurovision is like that. So even if you don't have, like, a big interest in, like, singing and dancing and stuff, Eurovision is a lot more than that, so you watch for more than just the performances. You watch for everything else. And I think it's really nice. And it brings people together, like, which is what it was always made for, right? Because Eurovision, cough cough, history, was actually after the Second World War. It was kind of made to bring together a fractured Europe. So, like, after all the countries had been at each other's necks and fighting and, like, you know, millions dead and all that, it was to bring everyone together. And it was also to promote the television because everyone would get around their television and watch Eurovision together. And it become like a really, because when it started, you know, there might be one person with a television on your street, like they were in every household like they are now. So you'd all go to the person who had the television and you'd all go watch it together. And it became like just an overnight party because, you know, everyone was going and watching it. And initially there were only a few countries in it, and then over time more and more joined. And while it does claim to be apolitical, it is incredibly political because the countries vote for the countries they like. And this is the first year, I'd say, where that element has actually been scrapped. Ever. First year ever. So this year it is 100% of the votes are from the public. So there will be no, like, jury country to country this year for the first time ever, which means, like, for instance, like France and England, it doesn't matter if they're not voting for each other, you know, because it's completely to do with the public. Now, does that take politics out of it? Not completely, of course. Everyone has their own politics, and there are some, I guess, things you grow up, like stereotypes and all that kind of stuff, which would probably influence a lot of people in different countries. However, it does make it a lot less political than it normally is. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and I'm happy and I'm excited, and there are some really good acts this year. Yeah. Oh no, you're fine. Gee, thank you again for the raid. Take care of yourself. Also, Akasha, welcome on in. I know from the pictures I've seen on Tumblr, I have no idea what it is, but the costumes are cool. Yeah. So if you're interested, actually, I can probably post the YouTube link. Some of you won't be able to see it because if you live in a country where it's like broadcasted on the television officially, you won't be able to see it on the YouTube because it is only for countries where they don't have an official broadcast, which is actually quite a few. And there's quite a few countries in Europe who do that as well. But if you are in one of those, I think it's this one. Oh no, that's from last year. That's fine. I'll just put the entire YouTube channel in there, because then if you have a VPN you can just change to, like, I don't know, Germany or something, and you'll be able to see it from there. If you have an interest, it's at 8 p.m. BST tomorrow, and this is the full final, so this is all the finalists. I think there's normally like 25 finalists or something like that, maybe 26, it's 25, 26, but there's always a big, like, performance as well. Last year we had Mika, who absolutely killed it. Mika's performance last year was like 10 out of 10. And they were such a good fit for, like, the theming and everything. Oh my god, that last year's performance was amazing. Big shoes to fill. Mika was like, they knocked it out of the park last year. Oh my god. So yeah, I'd be excited to see what happens this year. But I'll be honest, like, so even the semi-finals. So semi-finals happened on Tuesday and last night. Even the semi-finals had really, really good, like, performances. So the way that it goes is, rather than having like a half-time show on the semi-finals, it's more like they do all of the semi-finalists one after the other with a few intermissions. And then while the votes are being taken in and counted, that's when they do it. So it's nearer the end. Sorry. But yeah, so it works more like that, and it works really well. I mean, I enjoy that. And yeah, last night they had like some drag queens performing, which was honestly so much fun. After all of the ballads that we'd had last night as well, I think we needed something upbeat like that, because last night really was ballad central, which they're not my favorite. There's normally like one or two ballads I really like a year. And then that's about it. But I think there was only like 1 or 2 ballads that actually got through, because again, they were like putting all the ballads back to back. Like none of them are really gonna stand out that much. Oh dear. But yeah, it was good that this show. And then they'd Rita Ora on. Well, they had a few actually. They had, because on Tuesday they had the opening like performance, which was done by the Ukrainian presenter, who absolutely nailed it. Like that was such a strong opening to Eurovision. I was like, whoa. So that was really, really good. They had Rita Ora, but then they had 2 other performers. They had a Ukrainian singer and a British singer singing together about, like, it was like about her leaving Ukraine because of like the war. Which again would normally be something that they wouldn't be allowed to show at Eurovision, because it's meant to be like not political. But I'm really glad that they did, and it was really beautiful. I feel like as well with this particular year, so this year is really, really unusual. It's never happened like this before. But Ukraine won last year, but because of the war, they can't currently host Eurovision. So instead, the UK is hosting Eurovision for Ukraine. So like a lot of the stuff is like a mixture of British and Ukrainian, and then of course whatever country they're talking about. It's a really big mixture, but it's actually working quite well. Like, I guess you'd worry that it won, like you wouldn't want the UK to overtake Ukraine too much, because obviously Ukraine was the winner last year. It's just that they can't host it in their country, but it doesn't feel like anyone's talking over anyone. It's actually working quite well, which is nice. Oh dear. So yeah. I've been very impressed so far. I'm so excited for the finals tomorrow. Like, I'll be honest, last night I thought was a little bit, other than the drag queen performance, which was fantastic, but I thought last night was a bit mid. Tuesday was ridiculously good though. Like, Tuesday was just banger after banger. And like, I was so nervous that Norway wasn't going to get in, by the way. Like, they had, like, the voting, and, like, they were going through them, and Norway was the last one, I think, called, right? Was Norway the last one called? I think they were. And, like, oh my god, she was so good. She did, like, I don't know what you'd call it. Like, it was a very strong song. Like, I could imagine her being in Game of Thrones or something. It was really, really fun. And like that was the opening for the performances, and she did such a good job. But yeah, I thought I almost felt like I wasn't allowed to vote on the Tuesday, because you're only allowed to vote on certain days, right? And the UK couldn't vote on Tuesday. But yeah, I was so nervous because I was like, oh man, she was really good, but she did go first. Like, did people forget about her? But they didn't forget. Heck yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her performance again tomorrow. Oh dear. They announced Austria before Australia. They both got in. Both Australia and Austria got in last night. But because they had them in the same bracket, when you hear the Aus, everyone was like, Australia? And it's like, no, Austria. Because they both sound so similar. Although I will say, Austria was the group that did po, 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 po. So I was still really, really happy that they got in. Because I liked that. I thought it was very silly, but very fun. Oh dear. Po, 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 po. Yeah, this is the year of the po, 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 and the cha, 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 cha. Because they're basically like the same rhythm. Po, 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 cha, 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 solo, solo. Oh dear. Do you have any predictions for who you're gonna think win? Out of interest. I mean, this goes to anyone in chat. Any predictions? For the longest time, I thought the Poe Poe song was Australia. No, I know Austria, Australia. Heckin' hard. They are very similar sounding, especially when they're announced to a crowd that's cheering as well. Oh, also, did you guys? Okay, wait. I don't know how I found this. Because a lot of people, I'd be honest, it's not my favorite, but it's very common at concerts these days. People record them on their phones. But I didn't realize, so in the Finland entry, which by the way, I looked up what the lyrics meant, because we were like, the cha-cha-cha song, I was like, I want to know what the lyrics mean. If you didn't know, the lyrics are basically talking about drinking until you're not afraid of the world anymore, which is like, it's actually quite like a heavy, it's like about just like drinking alcohol until you forget how scary the world is. Which, while very relatable, is like quite a scary song. But like, yeah. what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the amount of audience singing along with with Finland's entry, I wonder. So here's the thing. I think if this was more political, I wouldn't be surprised if more people voted Ukraine again. But I actually don't think Ukraine's entry this year so far feels as strong as their entry last year. I think it's still a really good entry, but does it stand out as much? I don't think so. Because I think last year, the Kalush Orchestra, the people that won it for Ukraine, obviously there was some political factors that meant that they did receive quite a lot of votes for the judges, but they also did really, really well on the public vote. And I think it was a mixture of the timing, but also the fact that the people that were playing for Ukraine were really good. And they really did stand out from everyone else. Like, the performance that they gave last year was so different whilst being really, really good that it's like, even without the political factors, there would have been a fair chance that they would have won, I think. They did a really good job. And while their entry this year, I do like it, I'm like, does it have that same, like, smack as last year? I guess we'll see, because I haven't seen it performed on the big stage at Eurovision yet. So maybe it does, but right now I'm like, I don't think Ukraine will win this year. I think they'll do well. I do think I see them in the top 10, but I don't think they'll win. So it's like, and if Ukraine doesn't win, who? Who will win? I know there's a lot of people quite excited for Germany. We've seen like a clip of Germany, but we haven't seen the full performance yet. But I know people are excited for it. And so like if there are a lot of people excited for it, it does mean they're probably going to get more votes just because people are already hyped. I think Finland actually has a fair chance of winning, because from the sounds of it, a lot of people already know the song. And I think that's a really good, like, if people in the audience know the song, then it's probably going to do pretty well. Do you have a favorite? If I had to guess, I would say I think Finland will do well. I'm trying to think of other ones. I wonder if Germany might do well, because again, like, because people are hyped up about them, I'm like, maybe. And they seemed really nice as well. I think that's the other thing, is like when I've seen the interviews with Germany, they've been really, really chill. And I feel like that kind of like the dissonance between like the slightly heavier song and the really, really chill personality, I think a lot of people will really, really like that. So yeah, I watched it yesterday. You watched the Tuesday one. Spuds, welcome on in. Yeah, yesterday it was just the way they split it. Spuds, I was a little annoyed about it honestly last night. Sorry, I just need to bring this a bit closer for a second. Basically, they split it. They split the performances so that on Tuesday we had like a lot of really interesting and like more unique songs, I guess. And yesterday was just ballad, 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 like back to back, like 10 ballads. And so like nobody really got a good chance to shine, because even though the singers were really, really good, they were all performing the same kind of song back to back, like with very, very few differences in between. And again, it's not that any of the performances are bad, and I don't blame the performance. I'm just kind of annoyed at the Eurovision organizers who set it up like that, because it felt like they weren't really given a good chance. Like, if you look at the people that got through, every performance that did something a little different yesterday got through. Every performance that didn't do a ballad. Because I think everyone was just so happy to not have a ballad. And like, it's not the performer's fault, it's like the organizer fault there. And that kind of annoyed me, to be honest. And it's not that I'm sad about the people that went through last night or anything. All of my favorites did. But I do feel a bit bad for like the artists. Yeah. Because normally it wouldn't be like that. You love Norway? I love Norway too. We were so anxious because we've been watching them as like a watch party on the Discord. We were all so anxious because Norway was the last one called for qualifying on Tuesday. That we were so nervous that they weren't going to get through, because she opened so well. She opened like the whole competition for like performers. And like she did such a good job, and we were like, oh my god, is she going to get through? Because they really... The tension when they're waiting to call out the names. I will say though, everyone was cheering so hard in the Discord when Norway got through. Everyone was like, yes! Oh dear. So there was a lot of support for Norway. I also really like Norway. Had I been allowed to vote on Tuesday, I probably would have voted for... I would have been Finland, Norway, and Czech, I think. I really like Czech. They were really good. They were the ones with the really, really long hair that danced together with their hair. I just really like harmonizing. There was the Netherlands. I really kind of. The thing is, and this is the thing that annoys me again. Like, if the Netherlands had been in yesterday's group, they would have got no question. They would have.
Yay, 7 months supporting this amazing, awesome streamer. Can't wait to carry on supporting this amazing streamer and community.
Oh, Epi, heck. Thank you so much, and thank you for the 7 months. That's very heckin' kind of you. We're gushing about Eurovision right now. I don't know if you are familiar with Eurovision, if you watch Eurovision, but it is Eurovision season here, and we have been gushing a little bit because tomorrow is the finals. And we've been watching the semi-finals in the Discord, and it's been so much fun. And there's some really, really good entries this year. Like, listen, if I could go through them and play them, I would, but like, it's very much copyright, very much DMCA, and not worth the stream channel. But oh my god, I probably recommend to check out who did I say my favorites were overall? I think it was Finland, Czech from Tuesday were my favorites, and then if I look at the Discord, actually I think I shared it in the Discord who my favorites were from yesterday. Let me double check. Austria, Australia, and then Germany maybe. So I think it was, yeah, Finland, Czech, Austria and Australia and Germany, I think, are my favorite 5. I would like those 5 to do well. I do like the UK song. It's beautifully bitchy. I like it, but I think those 5 are my vibe. Ah, dear. Poe, 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 Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah. I don't watch TV Jelly, more of an Amazon Prime. Oh, so you can watch Eurovision on YouTube. If that helps. There you go. They live stream it. So it won't have like the commentators, but you can still watch all the performances back to back. That's what we've been doing. We've been doing it in the Discord. Yee. I was about to ask your thoughts on the UK song. I like it. It's like a bop, like while you're prepping for a night out. It's good, but like, it's. I think this is the problem I have with it. It's a good song, and if I heard it on the radio, I'd probably bop to it. But is it Eurovision? I don't really feel like it's that Eurovision. I feel like it's a really fun song, and I enjoy it. But I don't feel like, I think there's a vibe with Eurovision, and it's not. I don't know how to explain it, because like I really like the song. I just don't see it as a Eurovision song. Yeah, but the song itself I enjoy. Yeah. It's kind of the same I felt about Ireland's entry last year, where I was like, I really liked Ireland's entry, and unfortunately it didn't get through the qualifiers. But I liked it, but again, like, I can see why it didn't get through, because it wasn't that it wasn't a good song, and it wasn't like a proper bop, but it wasn't very Eurovision. And I think that does, it's difficult to explain what Eurovision is, but that isn't, yeah, as much what I would consider to be Eurovision. Isn't that just a bit small for an adult? This one? But to be fair though, my character is only canonically 30 centimeters tall. 32 centimeters if you include the head blobs. So like, canonically, this actually could fit me. Oh dear. Maybe not me, but the character it could. Oh dear. Last year's UK yeah. Honestly, he was so good. It was Sam Ryder. He'll be performing tomorrow, as will Kalush Orchestra. So yes, they'll both be performing live at the finals tomorrow. They are both like fun. Like honestly, you'll love both of them. If you haven't seen them before, they have really good performers, and they both did so well last year. I'm really looking forward to seeing them again. But yeah, they'll be playing tomorrow. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm small. I'm a very small character because I'm meant to be like a little blob. Just a little blob, but technically, as far as like, I guess, fairy terminology would go, I'd be a sprite, so I'd be pretty small. Pretty small. Sprites are not known for their size. So I'd be like a little sprite. A little slime sprite. Yeah. Wow. Nice! Yeah! I'm super excited. I am looking forward to seeing their performances again. I think if I had to guess, they'll both perform the pieces that they did in Eurovision last year, but I imagine they'll both play something new as well. It's unusual for there to be 2. Once again, this is like there's been a lot of firsts this year for Eurovision, because it's never happened before that one country has hosted another because of war. So like that has never happened before in Eurovision. So they're treading a lot of new ground here. This is the thing. I'm giving them a lot of like wiggle room, to be honest, because a lot of what's happening this year is very, very new. But so far, the only thing that's kind of annoyed me is how they set up the acts, because I feel like it didn't give them the best chance possible. Other than that, I haven't really had any complaints. Like, even though they're treading a lot of new ground this year, I feel like they've been doing a pretty good job. I need to have a look what was there yesterday. Yeah, I'd say yesterday... Again, Austria and Australia were standouts in my mind, at least. I think they were really, really good. I did like Albania, I believe it was. And then there was one other. Someone did proper high camp, and I can't remember who it was, but they got through. I think it was Belgium. I think Belgium did pretty well last night. So yeah, there were a few acts last night that were really good. I don't know that I necessarily recommend watching the live stream unless you really like ballads. But like, you know, maybe watching the entries that got through. I'm trying to think, were there any entries, Jorts, last night that we wanted to get through that didn't? Because I feel like there weren't. Devastor, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the follow. We're just gushing about Eurovision right now. I'm doing some smocking at the same time. I gone crazy on Pokemon cards. I played a couple tournaments and I made the semi-final. Oops, oh my god, excuse me, I'm like burp into my mic, Jesus Christ. And I also am sat in 4th in the... Wait, really? Oh my god. Heckin' congratulations. I know Pokemon is like relatively competitive. Heck, good heckin' job. Oh dear. Whoa. See, I like Pokemon cards, but I kind of just like looking at them. I like, okay. You know, like, that they all have like different art on them? You know the knitted ones? I like the knitted Pokemon cards. The ones with, they have like, there's like a very small selection of Pokemon creatures that have like a knitted version. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Oh my god, I love those ones. Every time that Shiny finds one of them, he gives them to me, so I have like a little collection. It is with Shiny's collection because like I'm not keeping them separately, but I have a little collection of knitted Pokemon that I like a lot. Maybe Iceland, but I think the ones we liked most qualified. Oh, what did Iceland do? Oh god, it says a lot if I can't remember it, huh? Dear. So far, I root for Czech. Yeah, I love Czech and Norway, and like, yeah, women power. That's fair. That's very fair. I also really like Czech and Norway. I think they're both great. And Czech has so far been, I think it's my favorite female performance. Maybe. I do still really like Austria. Austria's fun, and they are also 2 women. Austria's really fun. I do like it. I don't think Austria will do that well overall, if I had to say, as like a cheeky guess. I think Austria appeals to a certain type of humor, and that's my humor, but I don't think it'll appeal to everyone. So I have feelings, unfortunately, that I feel like Austria won't do so well, but I do really like them. I have managed to pick up several shiny ones, just trying to get my VMAX cards now to strengthen my deck. Heck yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, Pokemon is pretty competitive, so to do that well already is very impressive. I know there's always Pokemon tournaments going around me. Like, I know a couple people that help host them at their stores, but like, yeah, I just like the knitted cards. I think they're cute. Yeah, it's a lot, but people really do well. The other day, we were walking to this shop, and what are they called? Are they called energy cards? It's the ones that are like, just like a fire or like an orb kind of thing. Someone had clearly just dropped their energy cards at the side of the road and just left them there. And there was like a little pile of just energy cards on the side of the road. It was a really weird sight. Like, we were just going to like this, I think it was either the supermarket or the corner store. It was like not that far. We were not going very far, but it was just to pick up some groceries, and it's like, what are all these energy cards doing at the side of the road? Like, what happened? What situation happened that, because they were like wet and like kind of like not in a puddle, but like maybe they had been in a puddle. Like, it was odd. I don't know what would happen. I also don't know why someone would have so many energy cards. Well, I guess if you're playing competitively, maybe it's something to do with that. But yeah, it was just a really like, it's like one of those sites. It's just like, what happened here? What is going on? They are energy cards. Cool, thank you. I thought they were, but you know, again, I don't play really at all. I just like the cards. Oh dear. Heck yeah. Same with Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't play. I found my Yu-Gi-Oh cards the other day, and I just really like sorting through them. I don't have all of them because I did give a lot of them away, but I have some of them still. And I like just going through them and being like, that's a pretty card. That's nice. I like that one. Oh dear. Which I guess is not how you're meant to play, but I like it. I have my blue eyes, and I have, what else do I have? I have some cute ones. I have some cute shiny ones, and I like them. Make me happy. Oh dear, I really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, but Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Digimon, honestly. All three of those. I really liked them. I played, I never really knew how to play, but I really liked the idea of playing them. And so like me and my siblings would like play, but we didn't really understand the rules, I think. We were pretty young, and also Yu-Gi-Oh is complicated for kids. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a good heckin' time, even if I wasn't necessarily playing by the rules. Okay, these ones are poking out weirdly, so I'm just gonna give it another go. Start it again. There you go, that's better. That's better. Oh, I have 400 cards as of 6 decks. That are, oh yeah, because people build different decks, don't they? That's fair, that's fair. Again, this is like out of my range of knowledge. My range of knowledge is I like the knitted cards, and I like Bellsprout. Snom's pretty top as well. Also like Snom. Oh dear. Oh! Actually, this is just a question for general audience. I want to start making assets for VTubers. Like, just ones that you can add to your VTuber to add things in. And since it's Pride Month next month, I figured it'd be fun to make some Pride assets. If anybody has any ideas of assets they'd like to see as like a VTuber asset, let me know. I have a few that I'm planning to do already, but like I'm open to more ideas, and plus I don't need them until June, so it's like I've got time. If anyone thinks of anything, just shoot me a DM and I'll see if I can get it done. I thought that would be kind of fun. Have little Pride assets, since I've kind of already spoiled my Pride, and you like, what do you call it, my Pride jelly form, and you can make me that anytime now. I thought it was like, yeah, you know what, we'll make something extra. Motivate Pikachu and Mew decks, is they're fun. Heck yeah. Well, then you have to do what you enjoy as well. There's no point, at least in my mind, especially if you're like a hobbyist as well at the moment, if you're just starting out, like, there's not really any point in doing stuff that you don't enjoy. I think that's only when you get very, very serious that you start to like make those sort of sacrifices. Ugh. And even then, like, ideally not too much, right? Ideally, you wouldn't make those sacrifices too much. I mean, it's kind of like cosplay, like, there are, when I'm looking at doing a competition piece, there are normally elements I'm more excited about than others. Like, I was very excited about the smocking, but there are elements where I'm like, ugh, that's going to be really hard work, or I'm like, I'm not super excited about that. But I don't make too many of those bits, because I want to, for the most part, really enjoy making like most aspects of the costume. I mean, it makes sense that there'll normally be, especially like structural things, there'll normally be one or two things that are a little bit more boring to make. Like, for instance, in Mateus, it was the petticoat, and like, you don't really see the petticoat, but like, I wanted to make it because there's a big competition and making everything is important. But like, I'll sacrifice that for having the rest of it be really fun. I'm playing Magic the Gathering. Oh, welcome to the time sink. I don't play Magic and I refuse to, but we have a lot of Magic cards in the house. Ugh. Ugh. I am not the person in this house that is into Magic. It's the other one. They're very into Magic. There's a lot of cards. Oh dear. Every now and again they say they'll sort through it, and then it's like, nah. And it's like, you know what? Can't even blame you. That's a lot. Oh dear. Wah. There we go. Okay. Good stuff. I can't stop thinking about Eurovision, man. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, in my head, it's just been cha-cha-cha and Poe 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 for like 3 days now. It makes me so happy. Eurovision makes me so happy. Like, it's such a fun event. I'm so glad that we actually had quite a few people pop into the watch party. And like, it's never something that I'd force anyone to do or anything like that. Like if you don't enjoy Eurovision, you're fine. Don't worry about it. But it was really wholesome to see how many people did pop in and like join and chat about the entries and like gush about our favorites and stuff. It's really nice. Very lucky. Oh, the Eurovision. No, thank you so much for joining. And honestly, thank you to everyone who joins. It's really fun watching it. I think Eurovision, it's fun to watch on your own still. I still enjoy that. But it's so much more fun to watch with other people where everyone can like be like, oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, I don't like this. It's just a lot more fun to watch with other people. Again, it was built to be a community thing. Like, it's meant to be everyone goes to their neighbor's house who owns a television and goes watch Eurovision together. It's meant to be a community thing, and it works really well as community. Run by Soy. Oh no, you're fine. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, Epi. I hope that it goes well. Well, of course, yeah. I'm sure one day as well, Australia will win. To be fair, if Australia win, am I right in thinking that it's another European country that will host for them? And that it will never be in Australia? Because, like, it's kind of a shame if that is the case. If that is the case, it's kind of a shame. I can't remember exactly what the rules are as far as Australia goes. Because I feel like it's if Australia wins, it gets hosted by someone else. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. Oh dear. I'd like it if Australia could host themselves, to be honest, but I'm sure there's some secret rule. Yeah, we can't host it on Australia, I think. But then at least, wouldn't it be nice as like a reward for the Australians who have worked hard to win Eurovision, if it could be hosted in their own country where it's in their own time zone for once? Like, wouldn't that be kind of a nice reward? Because it's so early in the morning for you guys. Wouldn't it be kind of nice if you guys win, like, you could have it hosted in your time zone for once? Because otherwise, I feel like Australia will win one day, but then nobody from Australia will really be able to watch it because it's at like 3 in the morning or something. Oh dear, which would be like such a shame. Like, that's something that I feel like should be celebrated if you win, not like, well, I'm glad we won, but I can't watch it kind of thing. I was wondering why Australia's there in the first place. I thought it should be Europe countries. So it's expanded over the years to having more and more countries in it, which I honestly like, because it's about unity, it's about bringing people together with like songs and music and stuff like that. I am personally of the very controversial opinion that any country should be able to enter. But I think because it is not broadcast, and like Eurovision was broadcast in Australia for a long time, and it already had gained like fairly good popularity there by the time that Australia was invited. So it was already like, how to put it, like Australia was already in the Eurovision culture before they entered Eurovision, because it was already broadcast there, it was already a big thing, people would already get together and talk about it. So it was like, it was that sort of, well, why not have them? Because originally it was Eurovision because it was about Europe. It was about Europe after World War II. And like the countries that were very involved in World War II, a lot of them were in Europe. And obviously we're all very close to each other. So like, you know, after an event like World War II, where we're all right next to each other, it was nice to have something that brought people together where politics weren't involved, cough cough, weren't involved. So that's what Eurovision was. But obviously things have changed and the world has got much smaller since World War II, and the fact that like people are much closer together and stuff like that. I think having more countries have that escape from, I guess, the political atmosphere and stuff is nice. But I can also understand why Australia would have been invited over other countries, because they already had the Eurovision, like they were already in the Eurovision culture as far as like, they already gathered around and watched it similar to everyone in Europe. So it's like, of course they'd be invited first, like, makes sense. I feel like if America, for instance, if in the USA, they got more into Eurovision, they started broadcasting it, they'd have watch parties and stuff like that. If it became a big part of the American calendar, I wouldn't be surprised if America joined, because I feel like it could afford to join. That's the other thing, is Eurovision is kind of a money sink, especially if you win. If you win, it is very expensive. This is the reason a lot of countries in Europe don't enter every year. It's because, like, well, it's a lot of money, and if we win, can we actually afford to host and all that kind of stuff? So yeah, it's like a personal choice. But I'm personally really glad to see Australia there. It's been really fun to cheer on their entries. I would not be against other countries outside of Europe taking part, especially if, similar to Australia, it's already something that's broadcasting in their country and people already love it. Like, why not? Why not? It's just a nice event. I think the only thing that would be a bit sad is if people, like, countries joined where, like, none of the country knew what Eurovision even was, and then, like, it's not going to do very well in their ratings, and I can't imagine them entering again. Whereas I feel like there was a pretty sure bet with Australia that they'd be okay. They'd come back. Oh dear. I was a guest for the 60-year edition, and we've been invited since then. Australia has broadcast for 50 years now. Exactly. See? Like, they are very in it. I was wondering if Czech could even host something like that. Yeah, it's definitely a decision that every country has to make personally as about whether or not they enter, because, like, again, it's very expensive if you win. Woof. Oh dear. But again, I definitely wouldn't be against other countries entering Eurovision. I know there are some people who are very against it. So, like, depending who you talk to, you will get different opinions, because a lot of people are still very against Australia being in it. Like, they don't like that. But I think when you look at, like, why Eurovision was created in the first place, I think, honestly, like, it makes sense that more countries would be in it over time, because it is about peace. It is about coming together and celebrating through music, because music transcends language. It's a nice thing, and I think it makes sense that it's more people are joining over time, and I think it will continue to make sense if more countries were to join over time. But obviously some countries are more in the Eurovision spirit than others. I think it'd be nice to host it in Australia, but I understand it's more a larger European audience. Yeah, but you know, I think most Australians know about Eurovision. Maybe one day it could become World Vision. Hell yeah, like, I definitely wouldn't be against that. Like, having more and more, it'll be a longer and longer performance. Like, they'll have to open up more semi-finals if we have too many countries. But I don't think that'd be a bad thing. Maybe a guest appearance. Yeah, exactly. Like, if it's already popular in another country outside of Europe, having a guest appearance one year would probably be like a good indication on whether or not your country is going to be receptive to it. And yeah, I think that's a smart way of doing it. I know there is something like that already, but it's not that popular, I believe. Yeah, I think we were talking, so we raided into Beauty yesterday and they were talking about it for a bit, and they said there was an American version that got cancelled after like one season. I think the fact that it was a season as well is kind of like crazy to me, because obviously Eurovision is like just a week of intensity. So having it as like a full season, it's like, nah, you need it back to back to back to back. But yeah, they were talking about that there was like an American version where it's just all the states against each other. I think what kind of makes it work in Eurovision, and like, again, if you've never watched Eurovision, I highly recommend you to go check it out on the YouTube tomorrow. Again, it's on YouTube, it's free, you don't have to pay for anything. I would recommend it. What you'll see is the diversity of the entrants, and like how everyone approaches Eurovision different every single year as well. It's like a lot of countries will perform in their own language. So especially like France, Spain, the big five, very, very common for them to, but even now actually, like more and more countries will perform in their own language. So you will not understand a lot of the songs, because unless you speak every language in Europe. There's a lot of cultural representation in the performances, but not always. Like, for instance, I think Ukraine consistently has been doing a lot. Like, I think for the last few years running, they've had a lot, but they don't always. Sometimes they'll just do like a more popish song, more fun. But then like last year, they had traditional instruments and Get Up and Garb and stuff. The year before, I believe they sung, was it the year before that or was it the year before that? Might have been 3 years ago. Oh my god, time is flying. But they had like a song that was like specifically representing some of the raids and stuff that had happened. You know, there's a lot of stuff, people singing about stuff that you might not have been aware of or might not have affected you. And then it'll be these really heavy, like, cultural songs displaced with, like, pop and camp culture. This is the thing, if you're abroad and you're part of the LGBTQA+, highly recommend checking out Eurovision. It's very camp. It's very camp. There's a lot of rainbows. It's all sparkles and rainbows and glitter, and you know, drag and all that is a big part of Eurovision. I would say if you are part of the LGBT and if you've never watched Eurovision before, check out Eurovision. I think you'll feel very happy like watching it. Oh dear. SBS, Australian broadcaster, has the rights to host competition for Asia. Oh really? Ooh, excitement. Have I seen the film? I have not seen the film, but I do know of the film. I know that the film was a gateway for a lot of, especially people like over in America, to learn what Eurovision was for the first time, which I'm really grateful for. I've never seen it again. Like, I just watch Eurovision But I'm really glad that a lot of people who maybe had never heard of Eurovision have now heard of it because of that film. Yeah, that makes me really happy, you know? It's great that stuff like that can happen. Dan, I'm really glad. Again, I'll be honest, I don't really watch movies. I get motion sick. So, unfortunately, television and movies tend to make me very, very motion sick. So, yeah, we don't really watch them in this household very often unless, like, for special occasions, because I might go throw up. It's unfortunate, but it's one of those things. But yeah, I would say I'm happy that it exists. I'm very happy it exists, even though I haven't seen it. Oh dear. And I do feel like these days you do hear more Americans talking about Eurovision. Maybe that's just like because I've been on the internet more. Maybe that's been a thing for a while. But like Eurovision. Oh, wait, like as part of Eurovision or as part of like a separate thing, George? Because I feel like if it's a separate thing, without being too pessimistic, it might not do it as well. Just because, again, I do believe that the joy of Eurovision is bringing so many people from so many different cultures together to sing. Like, I think that's the fun part. So if you make it too small, and I think that's the issue they had with America as well, is like, well, you're all singing predominantly in English, maybe a little bit of French if you're up north, but like predominantly English. Like, there isn't a lot of diversity between a lot of the states. Like, it's all one country. It's never going to go quite... It's going to be a lot more similar stuff. Whereas Eurovision is there's a lot going on. It's a lot. It's just a lot, you know? It's an upcoming singing contest. It's like... it is to be like the Eurovision Song Contest, but it'll be... okay. I mean, I still guess as well, though, if you have different countries and stuff taking part, there probably will be some diversity, so it's still probably kind of fun. It's a shame that they can't take part as same as the part of the same competition though. Like, I would welcome that to Eurovision, to be honest. Like, bring in all the Asian countries to Eurovision, because there would be so much more. There would be so much more diverse. It'd be so fun. Oh dear. Like, I do hope that it does well, because like, you know, it'd be fun. It'd be fun if it goes well, and I hope that it does. And I probably will end up watching it eventually. But yeah, it would have been really nice if they could have all just been together. Just add it onto Eurovision. We could do an extra semi-finals. Oh dear. Also, like, just generally, if it's the first time that your country has entered Eurovision, you normally do quite well. Like, this is where it's not political, but comes in. Like, if it's your first year in Eurovision, you'll normally do pretty good, because people want to support you because it's your first year in Eurovision. So, like, bringing a new country in, like, literally, you'll probably do pretty well the first year. Even if you have, like, maybe not the most extravagant performance, people will want you to do well. It's just like cheering on the new person. That's what it is. That would definitely make the best anime opening for Eurovision. Oh my god. But again, like, it would be really fun to have them as part of Eurovision, because it would just bring in a lot of different cultures. And, like, there's a lot of cultural preferences with songs. Like, a lot of people talk about this, like, when watching them in watch parties here. It's like, when obviously Russia's not in Eurovision at the moment because they are warring with people, which, you know, can't have that. That's kind of anti-Eurovision, sorry. But like, when you go towards Russia, Ukraine, and the kind of music that they play there, it's often got like really heavy bass tones, and like, even if it has more of a traditional over the like more traditional instruments, there's like heavy droning bass kind of throughout a lot of it. Lots of drums, lots of bass, that kind of stuff. When you go over to France, maybe a little bit more traditional, but it's also kind of like often quite, you know, how to put it, more ballads, really soulful singing, stuff like that. You go to Spain, it's often quite sexy. Although this year, actually, Spain is doing something really fun with harmonizing. Keep an eye out for Spain's entry. I think it'll either do really well or really poorly, because it's definitely quite a Marmite song, but I don't know. I thought I didn't like it, but I actually kind of like it. Germany, Finland, Sweden. All of those often have kind of diverse entries, but I feel like every few years we'll put out something rock and roll. Every few years they'll put out one. They'll do a few normal ones, and then I'll be like, screw it. This one. Oh dear. Like last year in Norway were the Banana Wolves. This year they have a very strong vocalist, to be fair. But yeah, every now and again they'll just be like, screw it. Have this one. Ah, dear. Australia placing 5th in the first year. Yeah, exactly. Second year after. Although I will say though, yeah, like, Australia has had some very, very strong performances. So, like, even aside from maybe some bias in the first time, they've actually done really well. We could have K-pop. Oh my god, they would do so well. K-pop very popular. Like, maybe that's why they're not inviting Korea to Eurovision. It's just because we know they do too well, so we can't have it. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Is it someone I can message with sad news? I mean, oh, you can message me after stream if you like. I mean, it's all right. Unless it's something that's like very, very triggering. Like, I think everyone will just want you to feel better. Like, if it's the death of a pet or something like that, like, you're all right. I think a lot of people have that and can relate to it, and we'll all just want you to feel better. Yeah, if it's not triggering, honestly, let us comfort you. Let us put blankets on you. The only reason we tend to avoid it is if it's very triggering, because yeah, obviously that's not fair for everyone else. What if China would do? Ooh, honestly, that is one thing. We haven't really had any opera performances this year. There's normally one or two who go a bit more classical with it, but this year I don't think we've had any opera at all. Right, like none. Although do correct me if I've forgotten someone, but I don't think there's any opera this year, which is unusual. Normally there's one. I feel like one at least, like more classically themed performance. Dear, there's one from Estonia a number of years ago, and I can't remember any recent ones. I remember the guy. Do you remember the guy that sung to himself? He was like one performer, but he sung in two very, very different voices, and so he was like singing to himself. That was a very iconic. That was an iconic Eurovision performance. The man who sung to himself. I remember Ukraine's entry from a few years ago. Where she sung about, again, this was the one where she sung about the houses being broken into and stuff, and she hit like the scream note so good. I think she won Eurovision with that, didn't she? I'm like 99% sure Ukraine won with that one. She was a very good singer. Oh dear. I really liked Australia. Oh my god, we were all yelling at Australia. All of us were like, because they announced Austria first. Jorts was like, because Jorts is obviously Australian. And they were like, it's Oz. Everyone was like, oh, Austria, not Australia. Although I really liked Austria's entry. And again, I was still really happy that Austria got in. But like, yeah. Oh my god, the Austria-Australia being in the same bracket was cruelty. Pure cruelty. That's another thing. Eurovision, separate Austria and Australia, because when you announce them, it gets confusing. Because everyone cheers, so you're not sure which one they've announced. Oh dear. Yeah, I think Australia will actually do pretty well this year. Do I see Australia winning? I feel like they have a chance. I think regardless that Australia will do pretty well. And I could see that they had a lot of support in the crowd, which means that I think, again, a lot of people already know their song, which is a really good sign. Do I see them winning? I feel like they have more of a chance winning this year than they did last year, to be honest. Even though I really liked last year's performance personally, I think this year they have a better chance. Yeah, if I had to say. Obviously, yeah, you know, you never quite know how people are gonna vote. I don't know though. The thing is, this year there are a few slightly more intense songs, and like you have Germany, Australia. I keep calling them intense. They're just more like rock. Germany, Australia, and Finland as well. I would count in there, although Finland's a little bit more techno. But I would count all three of them. And like between the three, it's difficult because like I'll be honest. Like, do I think one of them will probably get more votes than the other? I think so. But I don't know which one. And again, I haven't heard Germany's full performance yet. So like, I don't know if Germany might be sitting on like a winner there. I do think Germany will do well, but like how well will they do? I'm not sure. It's difficult. Like last year, to be honest, was a bit different because everyone kind of knew that Ukraine would win. I just looked up, do you remember Granamo? Ooh! Yeah! It's been a minute. Oh my god, it's like nearly been 10 years. Jesus Christ. Eurovision, when you look back and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that one being sung. Wait, that was 10, like what? Oh my god, it makes you feel like so much time has gone past so quickly. Oh dear. It's like yesterday when they talking about Dance in Europe. It's like, oh my god, that was like 2007, right? Oh my god. Oh, there goes my mirror. Let's not smash my mirror really quickly. Live on stream. Oh, it's too much bad luck. Can't be doing that. I started watching in 2012, so it's been 10 years now. Oh, I guess it would have been around 2007 that I probably started watching, maybe like the year before that. So it's been quite a while, but my family personally does not actually really like Eurovision that much. So like, instead of watching the whole show, they used to like, because as well, it does go on quite late to be fair, but they just show me highlights. So like the next day we'd watch their favorites on YouTube. So like, I wouldn't watch the whole show back in 2007, but like that's probably when I started first getting interested in it. Because I'd like watch Lordi and like watch Dance in Europe and all that kind of stuff and be like, hell yeah. Oh dear, not gonna lie, it feels like last year was hosted in the Netherlands. It's been 2 years already. I know. It's constant. Ah dear. It's a wild jelly. It is. Very wild, very untamed. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well, Hawk. We're doing more smocking at the moment. We're just gushing about Eurovision. Yeah, I'm like, I trying to. When was it? God, it's hard. Like, because again, like time flies by when you look at the Eurovision songs because it only happens once a year, so you feel like you remember it really well. Last year was a weird one. Last year, everyone kind of knew Ukraine was going to win because obviously there is some political voting, but also like Ukraine was receiving a huge amount of support from the public, which is a good thing. But regardless of what Ukraine had put forward, there was a fair chance, I think, that they were going to win last year. And then they also put through like an absolute banger of a song, which was just perfect. So yeah, I think everyone kind of knew that the Ukraine would win last year. This year's a bit different because although Ukraine could definitely still take it, I don't feel like it's the same as last year where I was just like, yeah, they're gonna win. Ukraine will win. They've got a great song. There's like a lot of emotion behind it and a lot of people are very passionate about Ukraine right now. There's no way Ukraine won't win. But yeah, this year's a bit different. It could be someone else. I was Die Hard with my kid the other night and I'm still thinking it's a Wait, how old is it? 35? Oh my god. I was like, oh yeah, I guess it is like a decade old at this point. God damn it. Ah! Oh, yeah. Like when you look at stuff like that and remember the time that it... Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. Arcade by doing... Is that the one with the piano? I'm sorry, I'm just going to quickly search it up because someone mentioned that. I think it was Amy mentioned that yesterday as well. Is that the one I think it is? I won't play it, don't worry. I'm just gonna like listen to like a small piece of it or look at the picture and I think I'll remember. Yee! Oh my god, Arcade was so good. Arcade was the one I thought they sampled yesterday. Because there was someone who had the background music that sounded like do 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 dun 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 dun, which is like the theme of Arcade. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that was reminding me of. I was like, isn't that like that previous Eurovision song? It like sounds very similar, but I can't remember whose entry it was. Oh my god, that song was actually lovely. There was every now and again a ballad is just like yes, that one was really good. And then 2020 was hosted by the Netherlands, but then COVID hit and we did it a year later. And honestly, that one was fantastic. That was such a good Eurovision. I think everyone needed that Eurovision so badly and it was so good. Like you had so many really standout performers in the finals. And like, I don't get me wrong, because that was the one my Manskin won, right? And like, I love them, but I, again, thought Ukraine's entry that year with Shum was so good. Like, I think... As much as I like Manskin, I think my favorite of that one in particular was actually Ukraine has made so many bangers. Like, it's not fair that they're that good. They come into Eurovision like relatively recently and they're just owning it. Like, even obviously before all the stuff that's happened the last few years, Ukraine has consistently done really well at Eurovision. Like, they go hard and they've been really good. And they said they like won like, what was it, 3 times in 20 years or something? Like, that's crazy. That, like, when you think of how many countries take part in Eurovision, to win that many times in such a short period of time is like, that's a lot. That's a heckin' lot. Shuma's one of my favorites as well. Yeah, I'm not sad that it didn't win because it did do really well. Shum still did really well, and so I'm not sad because I do think, man, like, this is the thing. It was such a stacked year because like I also really liked France's entry from that year, and like I'm often a bit hit and miss with France's entry. France's entry from that year. If actually, let me just make sure that I've got this right. If I do France Eurovision 2021. I think it was Voila, the song, right? Or something like that? France Eurovision 2021. Voila, yeah, Voila I really, really liked. That was such a good ballad. Voila was like, oh my god, that's like one of my favorite ballads ever that I've seen at Eurovision. That was like, I think that was up there as like one of my favorites, full stop. And like, I understand why it didn't win that year because again, there was like a lot of really, really good entries in 2021. But I feel like any other year that might have won. Like honestly, maybe not last year, but like any year previously to that could have won. Because it was so good. Oh, voila! This one, yeah, it's one of my favorite ever French entry, actually, thinking about it. Like, I think France has won in my lifetime, right? I'm pretty sure they won with like another ballad. If I do just France Eurovision, I'm pretty sure they won a few years prior to that with another. Or was it not France? Oh, maybe it wasn't France. Maybe it was someone else. Oh shoot, I thought they sung in French, but maybe they didn't sing in French. Oh dear. Hawk, thank you. And it's me. Welcome. We are looking at So I'm just gushing about Eurovision. That's gonna be all of today. God, Voila was so good. Voila! Such a good song. Oh my god. I wish I could just like listen to it. Now that I've like talked about it, I wish I could listen to it, but obviously like it's very copyright. I can listen to it, but only if I like silence everything. I guess it wasn't France that did it. Maybe it was somebody else. Oh, I thought they sung in French, but I could be wrong. Yeah, there was like a ballad that won a few years ago. It's probably more years than I think that it was. Because yeah, there's the Netherlands who won with a ballad. Fairy Tale was really good. I did enjoy Fairy Tale. That was good. Not the one I'm thinking of. Fairy Tale was a bop. I still listen to that one sometimes. Do you guys remember Fairy Tale? It's the one that goes like, oh dear. Oh yeah, Ukraine won Song Contest 2016. This is the one I'm thinking of, and it's called 1944 by Jamala. Yeah, that was a crazy song. Like that was a good one. That was a good one. I like that one. It was hard. Fairy Tale, yeah, from Norway. Fairy Tale with the violin, yeah. That one. Oh, this Shum was really good. Shum was really, really good, and I loved Shum. Like you said, Ukraine has kind of been killing it with Eurovision. To be honest, they've been doing really well. Oh dear, she was good. Australia placed second that year. Did they? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, there's Australia, there's Norway. Oh my god, it's tomorrow. I'm so excited. Czech was good with it as well. Czech really was good with the long hair. Oh yeah, Iceland, when they were like, they'd had their faces. What was that song called? The one where Iceland had their faces on it. Was it Think About Things? Or The Little Things or something like that? Oh my god. That was good. That was good. I did like Iceland's. Iceland's was fun. Oh god, I could gush about all Eurovision entries all day, and maybe I will. Finals are tomorrow. Yeah, Sunday we've been doing like watch parties for the semi-finals in the Discord. If you're looking for a place to join, we are celebrating in the Discord every night. You haven't watched Eurovision forever? Nyor, join us, Nyor. Oh my god, there's some good ones. Do you want me to post some of my favorites in the chat? I will, and I don't need any. Oh no, don't. I'll show you some of my favorites from this year because I'm trying to like get people excited about this year, and there's some good ones. I think if anyone wants to call me out, I think Austria it's important to show. Australia, I do believe I would like to show. I would say. I liked Estonia, but I don't think everyone else was as much about Estonia. I liked it. How about Germany? Germany, Blood and Glitter? Yeah, let's do Blood and Glitter. Finland, of course. Czech, I'd say. I feel like there's another one I missed. I would love Norway. Where's Norway? There's Norway. Queen of Kings. Yeah, there we go. All right, get ready. I was thinking of joining tomorrow while I have a hangover because you're going to a love parade. Oh my god, enjoy your hecking parade. Heck yeah. All right, I'm gonna spam some links in chat. If you want to get hyped about Eurovision, I'm going to have to pause them all immediately though. Who the hell is Edgar by Austria? An entire song about Edgar Allan Poe. Why? Who knows? Australia's entry, which is like really fun and rock and roll. Voyager. Promise. There you go. We have Lord of the Lost, which is Germany, which I haven't even heard the full song of yet, and yet I am posting it in the chat because I'm pretty confident that I think it will do well. We have Cha Cha Cha, which is my personal favorite coming in to the event. Lourdes, who the hell is Ad? It really is just Po 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 Po. It's so good. It's Cha Cha Cha, which is my personal favorite so far. Although I really do like My Sister's Crown by Czech. If you're looking for like female empowerment, I'd say Czech is really good. And then of course, also female empowerment, Queen of Kings, 10 out of 10. The high note is very impressive. She opened and she did such a good job. And then they made her wait to find out like if she had qualified. It was so mean. Let her know. She did a really good job. There you go. Those are some of my favorites so far for this year. There are others. I do think really Serbia's entry. I'm not going to post it in chat. You can go look it up on your own. Serbia's graphics was so it starts off like vampire-esque rising from the dead, and then it's like there's all these people in suits with like tubes attached to them, like wiggling around on the stage, and then there's a mech with a health bar in the background. It's like there is so much going on in Serbia's performance. It's not my favorite entry, to be honest, but like just for the graphics, it's very visually stimulating. There's a lot going on. Oh dear. Did Romania get through? I can't remember. I hope Romania got through. Did they? Romania was really good. I didn't vote for them, unfortunately, but they were really good. Is it this one qualifier? I'm just checking. Remember that Poland entry? There was a mech. Wait, which Poland entry? I remember. Didn't Iceland enter with like bondage once? I'm pretty sure Iceland entered with bondage once, and they got disqualified because they brought politics into it, even though it is now the butter churners. Oh my god, yes, I remember the butter churners. Was it Eurovision 2021? No, Iceland was chill. It was 2019. It was Atari 2019 where they did like, oh my god, that one was. It's this one, right? It's that one. Oh my god. That was very funny though. Listen, I like that one. I like the Swedish song, but I'm a bit disappointed because I like the song that came second in the Swedish qualifier contest better. For Sweden. It's like that sometimes. And it is frustrating because obviously like this year in particular, I will be honest, I haven't watched as many behind the scenes, so I didn't watch like the qualifiers per country, which I did do last year. But sometimes it'd be like that. I think as well, sometimes people do really out there performances and people get nervous about whether or not that would do really well or really poorly. And I'm like, it's Eurovision, go hard or go home. Like, but obviously not every country feels the same way about it. Oh dear. I'm getting strawberry water. Heck yeah. No, water is good. And you know what? Water prevents kidney stones. So drink water. It's good. I have nearly finished my glass of water from this morning. I should probably finish that actually. That's terrifying, Jelly Model. Don't do that. Don't just vibrate while smiling. That's very spooky. Oh dear, you're awake. Welcome in, Yuki. I hope you're doing well. We're gushing about Eurovision right now. I just spammed some of my favourite songs from this year so far because the finals are tomorrow. I just spammed them in the chat. Personally, I am probably gonna mainly be, oh my god. Thing is, if any of those, is it 6 that I posted? Yeah, if any of those 6 win, I'll be happy with it, to be honest. But I think personally I'm kind of rooting for Finland and Czech still. And like, obviously if Australia won, I'd be very happy for George. So like, it'd be Australia, I'd be very happy for them. And then as far as just like the performance goes, it'd probably be Czech and Finland, I think, are mine this year. The great song seems to be done by Smash. If you're, oh, Into Pieces if you're curious. Heck yeah. Oh, well listen, I won't look at it now because I will judge Sweden alone, but appreciate it. I'll probably look at it after the competition. And then I can also be like, gah, that was good. The band started singing dude songs at 4 AM, so I'm like, oh my god, it's not even light yet. Heck. Birds be ripping and tearing. There was, oh my god, yeah, the kiss after the song, like the really, what do you call it? Not dramatic, aggressive. The really aggressive kiss after the yodeling song. Oh my god. I mean, that was something. Obviously, like, I think she was fine with it. He was just like a bit intense, and she was like, it was very awkward to watch. It was like, ugh, that's an intense kiss right there for a stage. Dancing Legend, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A legendary. There are some very legendary songs, obviously, and you have like Epic Sax Guy. Epic Sax Guy comes from Eurovision. That's where that meme comes from. There's a lot of memes, I think, from Eurovision that they end up going worldwide, so people don't realize where it comes from. I dancing, I know that comes up nearly every Eurovision. That and Lordi. Lordi is still one of my favorite Eurovision performers because it's like so intense, and they went full hog. They did everything. They had like the mechanical wings coming out, they had the fire, they had like a little hat to start with, which ended up getting missing at some point. Oh my god, I loved it. Hard Rock Hallelujah. Hard Rock Hallelujah is one of my favorite performances for Eurovision. Like, I really struggle because like I have a lot that I really like, but Lordi's performance is just so over the top. And it's so good. It's also like that weird feeling of like, they don't look like they would be, like, it's everyone's like, yeah, wee, 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 in the crowd, they're like, it's like a weird dissonance between the performance and the setting, but it works so well. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Lordi will probably always be one of my favorite performers at Eurovision. Oh dear. I still find the Croatia got in this year with their song. I don't know. I always laugh at that line. I don't remember what a lot of people that didn't really stand out to me that much, and I feel like Croatia was one that didn't really stand out to me. Oh dear. Nothing wrong with a bit of screaming. There's not. I love that Eurovision embraces all the different kinds of singing. Like, that's the thing that I'm a little surprised about this year, is that there is no opera, because there's normally at least one more operatic like entry, because there's such a range of like vocal performances that happen at Eurovision. Like, there's normally at least one. Didn't Australia have like one at one point? Wait, I need to go back. Is that the one where you... No, I don't think that's the one where you came second. Australia Eurovision Opera. What year was it? Oh, did I do it? Oh, here it is. Zero Gravity from 2019. Oh, that was really recent, actually. Sorry, I like stopped my music because I accidentally searched in the wrong one. Yeah, this one was weird. Yeah, when they were like all on sticks wobbling around. Yeah! Yeah, they were all standing on the long poles. Oh my god, that was such a good one. Didn't they open as well? I feel like they were really early, and it was just like opera singers on poles. Oh dear. That was a good one. I liked that one. Oh my god, Kate Miller, yeah! Yeah, that's the one. Oh my god, yes. I can post it in chat, actually. You know, if you guys haven't seen this performance, let me just get at the beginning again so you guys can see the whole thing. Zero Gravity, yeah. Opera singers on poles. Here you go. Oh my god, that was a good one. Not a winner, but a good one. Oh dear. I still think Ukraine has one of my favorite operatic performances because, wait, if I do Ukraine opera? I see if I can get the high note. opera. Eurovision. I should put Eurovision. Otherwise, I'm sure these are very good, but these are not what I'm looking for. This one. Oh, it was such a good moment! Oh wait, no, it keeps going, I forgot. Sorry, I'll take the DMC if I have to take this down because it's worth it. Where was the scream note? I feel like it was around here. Yeah! So good. So good. She was so good. It was a very strong year. 2016. Oh my god. She's so good. I could put that one in chat if you would like to listen to the full performance. It's a very heavy performance, but it's good. Yeah, what was that? 1944. Yeah, 1944 was a strong performance, but like heavy but strong. Really good. Like I say, Ukraine's been smacking out of the park for a while. She won with that one as well, which as she should. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like not that the opera doesn't, like the opera can definitely win, but you need a very strong singer, and like she was very good, very good, and oh my god, there was again some controversy with that one because a lot of people said that that was too politically charged as a song for Eurovision, which I can see what they meant, and you have to bear in mind as well, this is before the war with between Ukraine and Russia started, so like before all of that became like much more public. A lot of people were annoyed about how politically charged it was because it was about political war at the end of the day. But I think music is always a little bit politically charged all the time. Like it's not uncommon for a lot of music to have, you know, people's experiences, and like, you know, a lot of big songs are experiences about escaping war and all that kind of stuff, and that you can't really escape that's always going to be like a little bit political. So yeah, while people were a little bit mad, I'd say stay mad. She was really good and she deserved the win. And so Australia almost won that year. Yee! I think with Australia it is only a matter of time before Australia does win, to be honest. Like, you are also consistently putting out very, very good songs. You're consistently getting in the top 10. Like, I think it really is just a matter of time before Australia wins. Oh dear. It could be this year that you'll do really well as well. Has Australia not won yet? I don't believe so. Obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember Australia ever winning. Not yet, I don't think. I think they've come very close a few times, but I don't think they've won. But I think it's just a matter of time. Like, listen, it's gonna happen. You can't keep getting this close without winning. They placed second in the second try, yeah. They've been consistently placing very high. Because you've been in the top 10 a lot, and like, it's not easy to get in the top 10. But yeah. It's just never quite made it. I'm still a little annoyed for last year's entry, to be honest, because I actually really liked last year. I liked last year's Australian entry, and I feel like I must have been the only one who enjoyed it. Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. The 5299. Yeah, 15 last year, which was, again, like, obviously at least you qualified, but like, I don't know. I feel like they deserve better than 15th, but that's my opinion. I like that song. I thought it was nice. A very strong vocalist, very nice ballad, but yeah, obviously was reaching out to a certain demographic, which is not the largest demographic in the crowd, so I could kind of see maybe why. For those who aren't aware, last year's Australian entry was a very, very talented singer who did a song called We're Not the Same, which was about their experiences being diagnosed with autism, or something along those lines. So, although it was very vague in the lyrics, like, I think because they're always introduced as to like what the song is about, most people knew, and yeah, like, obviously there's a lot of people who can really identify with that song, but not everyone. Ah, dear. But I thought it was really nice, and I loved their outfit. They had a really cool outfit. I'm always swaying if someone has good fashion, and they had good Eurovision fashion. That's the other thing, is I do feel like Australia really embraces like the Eurovisionness of everything, which is a really weird thing to say, but yeah, maybe you get what I mean, where it's like they do the over dramatic stuff. the big outfits, the big performance pieces. Like, I feel like you're consistently doing that, which is important. It's a big part of Eurovision. It's like, you know, all of the really dramatic stuff that you wouldn't normally see on stages. Oh dear. And if I could have afforded to go, I would have absolutely gone this year, but it is what it is. Tickets are like 400 quid each, and that is not in my budget. Yeah, it really has embraced the whole Eurovision. I think, yeah, that's why they're probably so beloved in it. It's like, it's really nice to see someone else come into something that you're, because obviously, like, Europe is, well, not everyone is passionate about Eurovision, but like Europe in general, I would say, is relatively passionate about Eurovision. It's really nice to see another country come into it and really just embrace that. I think that goes for a lot of things though. When someone embraces the things that you love, it's like, yay! Like when I meet someone who's really interested in cosplay and like, you know, you can have like a really good conversation because we're both into it and they're like, yeah, or they just get into cosplay for the first time. Like when one of my friends get into cosplay for the first time and they really enjoy it, it makes me really happy. Because it's something that I'm passionate about. I feel like Europe has had that experience with Australia. It's like, yeah, you're not in Europe, but seeing someone come in and fully embrace the Eurovision culture so much, it makes you happy. But it's always early morning. Yeah, it's just a shame that it's so early for you. Oh dear. Yeah, like, because the finals, so tomorrow's the finals, which I think, like, I believe start at 8 and finish at about midnight normally, but I'll double check. Eurovision 2023, time. Yeah. 8 p.m. Okay, yes, yeah, so it's 8 p.m. and it'll probably go till about midnight. That's a long time for Australia. Yeah, say it starts the same time as the semis, but it goes for like an extra 2 hours. So it's like double the length of the semis. Last year went on for a really long time because like they kept having to delay it because the votes were still coming in. Do you remember that? Last year when we were watching it, they kept going back to the judges and they were like, yep, not quite ready yet. Give us a few more minutes. So they'd have to do like improv. And then like, yeah, you were there like, I need to go to sleep. And meanwhile, there were these British people improving like, what do I do? Actually, no, it would have been not British people last year, it would have been Italians. Oh dear. Yeah, I can only watch the first. I remember we were waiting, yeah. They really kept us waiting. But when the votes were coming, oh my god, that was probably the most hype that I've ever been for like a voting session, because watching like the UK actually get votes, which by the way, for those who aren't aware, the UK did really well last year, which is really, really unusual for the UK because we are pretty hated in Europe. And you have to bear in mind, although it's not political, like we left Europe, we left the European Union a few years ago in Brexit. And so, yeah, funnily enough, people don't really like us because we left. And so even though politics isn't really meant to take any part in Eurovision, like there is a judges vote and judges panel, and consistently we get like zeros because they do not like us, which is like honestly fair. Can't blame them. We did leave. But last year we had already ahead of time said, listen, if Ukraine wins, we'll host them. We'll foot that bill and we'll host Eurovision. And so last year, oh my god, the judges loved us. Everyone was voting for us last year. Oh my god. Is it because we offered to pay for Eurovision for Ukraine, maybe? But what I will say is our performer last year, again, it was a really good match because we already were on the judges' good side because we'd offered to host Ukraine if they won, which most people assumed that Ukraine would win last year. So we were already on people's good side. But then also the performer was really, really well known. So he was like at one point the #1 song artist on TikTok. He's like a very, very well known artist, especially with the younger crowd, and he did a really, really good performance. So like, even if you weren't aware of like any of the TikTok stuff, you could still appreciate that he was very good. And so it was like a really good, like a match made in heaven. Not only did the judges really like us last year because we had offered to pay for Eurovision for Ukraine, but also because of like actually having like a very, very talented, well-known artist. Yeah, it was like just a really, really good match. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him perform. I'm just looking forward to seeing him and the Kalush Orchestra perform again tomorrow, because they are really, really good. They are a joy to watch live, that's for sure. I mean, a lot of countries do always vote for one another. Yeah, it's like, the Friends, but that's not happening this year. Did you see Anime? This is, not happening this year. It's public vote only for the first time ever. There is no panel of judges per, like, there's none of that. It's only the, oh my god! Sue, welcome on in. How goes it? We're gushing about Eurovision. I don't know if any of you guys are aware of Eurovision, are Eurovision people. We are gushing about Eurovision right now. I hope you're doing well. That's a big change. It is. It's a really, really big change. But I think it's one that really needed to happen at this point to keep Eurovision maybe a little less political. Like, you can't keep having that vote because that vote is so politically charged. So yeah, for the first time ever, we have a Eurovision where it's decided entirely by public vote, which is, I'm really excited to see how it goes. Also, yeah, welcome in, Raiders. Hello, hi. If you're new here, my name is Jelly. I'm a cosplay crafter based in the UK. I do VTuber model commissions and we make cosplays. And then sometimes we do music or gaming. We do like a little bit of everything, but predominantly cosplay. At the moment, we're doing smocking. I have nearly finished this panel. When it finished, it looks like this. And then once we've done all the detailing on top, it looks like this. And then once I cut it out and put gold around it, it will eventually look like this, but this is a lighter color. This is a nice dark color. The progression. And this is to make a 16th century reimagining of The Collector from the Owl House, which is a show that I really like. But yeah, right now we've been gushing about Eurovision. I love Eurovision. I'm having a really good time talking about it. It makes it more realistic because, yeah, let me get what people like. Yeah, so it's not just like the, well, you're, hosting Eurovision for Ukraine next year, so we're going to vote for you. We only get votes now if people actually like the song, which I do kind of prefer. And I do think at this point we have enough people voting that that's probably better for everyone, because otherwise they were having to count so many votes and the voting was so long. First off, I'm bisexual. Also, hello, how was your stream? So I hope it went really well. Thank you so much for the raid. Obviously, if you do need to run, if you need to look after yourself post-stream, please do. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to talk, join in with the gushing about Eurovision. It's the finals tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Unpredictable, welcome on in as well. Thank you for making me gay. I appreciate it. Understandable, honestly. I think everyone is gay for unpredictable. I like how it's sunny when they show Australia. Yeah, it is. It is. I forgot that always happened. Yeah, whenever they would show because they go to each country to announce who they've given their votes to. Whenever they go to Australia, it'd be like the middle of the day, whereas everywhere else in Europe, it's like the middle of the night. Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, because 8 a.m. Yeah, so you have the morning sun, whereas everyone else is pitch black. There was a short or floral blouse, yeah. Well, it's there's a vibe. If you dress really, really posh, or you dress as a stereotype of your country, it's one or the other. You dress really fancy, or you stereotype yourself. Yeah? It was a great stream. I'm putting on a series of medieval Pokemon embroidered boxes, and oh my god, that sounds hecking lovely. Well, I know we have a lot of Pokemon fans. We were literally talking about Pokemon earlier. So if anyone wants to go check that out, definitely go check out Sue. Obviously, if you need to take a break, do so. Otherwise, have you been keeping up with Eurovision? Have you been seeing the semis? Have you got any favorites going into tomorrow? Or favorites? You got plans? Have you got a Eurovision party? Do you even watch it? They just went crazy with costumes. Yeah, I think costumes are important because this is the thing. While it's called the Eurovision Song Contest, it's the whole performance. It's the package deal. It's not just the singer. It's the set. It's the performance. It's everything else. He did talk about Eurovision a little bit. I haven't watched it, but I'm gonna watch the finals tomorrow. Okay. My favorites. Finland, cha-cha-cha. Austria, Poe Poe Poe. And Czech, who just does a really, really good song. And Norway, who does a really, you're looking for female empowerment, Czech and Norway are fantastic. Australia, really, really fun, and I'd be really happy if they won. And Austria, po, 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 po. Austria's done a whole song about Edgar Allan Poe, where it's the chorus is Poe, 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 Edgar Allan Poe, yeah, Poe, Poe. That's their whole chorus. Meanwhile, historical pictures of Edgar Allan Poe float in the background. I don't know why that's they decided to theme their whole song on, but it's so funny. And there's just two female artists yeah, Poe, 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 Poe. Oh my god, solo. Yeah, can't remember solo. I still think personally I prefer cha-cha-cha, which is Once again, the lyrical genius of cha 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 cha. Or like and then yeah, like it go like the whole chorus. I don't know because in Finnish, so it's like da 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 cha 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 da 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 cha 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 da 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 cha 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 cha. That's the Finland entry. The Finland entry also looks like he has his arms in two peas in a pod. It's with like a spiked collar in the middle, but his arms look like, you know, like pod peas? Like before you deep pod them? His arms look like pod peas. It's a fashion statement for sure, but I really like it. So yeah. I have got to get up and move around. Oh, you're fine. Take it and thank you. Yeah, I'm very much enjoying smocking. It's such a fun but slow process. It's really fun. I love it. But yeah, no, good luck. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day as well. Somehow, the recap is even better with VTuber chatting. Yay! Well, I don't speak any of the languages of like my favorite entrants, except for Austria, who sung in English but just sung about Edgar Allan Poe. Like, oh no, actually it's not true. Australia's in English, isn't it? I don't know about Germany's. I'll be honest, I remember the vibe of Germany's more than I remember the actual song. Ah, dear. Yeah. Edgar Allan Poe, that's a good one. That's a good one. It literally, like, you'll see it tomorrow if you haven't seen it so far. It is just Poe, 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 Poe. It's 10 out of 10. Meanwhile, they sing, like, bits in between about Edgar Allan Poe, and it's... I'm so glad they got in. It's very silly. Again, I don't see it winning Eurovision, but it does make me smile, which I think goes a long way. Oh, no, you're fine. George, get some good dinner. Honestly, I'm going to have to go get some dinner in a minute. I don't know if you've been hearing. My stomach has been like... It's because I know that there's a pan of chocolate downstairs. So when I say that I'm going to get dinner, that's not actually true. I'm going to get the pan of chocolate from downstairs. Yeah, I've lied to you a little bit here. I'm not getting dinner. Chocolate. Yeah, pan of chocolate. Because I was hoping they deliver it before I went live, but then they ended up delivering it like 5 minutes after I went live, so I know that it's downstairs and it's waiting for me, and that's probably why my stomach is rumbling so much. Actually, should I just go quickly get that now? I can give you guys some words on stream while I go find it, but the more that I think about it, the more I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I really would like to eat my pan and chocolate. And then I can come back and do some smocking after eating that. It's been 2 hours, right? That's enough time. Words and chocolate? Yeah! Dinner, do you mean lunch? I actually mean neither dinner nor lunch. It's snack. It's snack. It's not enough food for dinner or lunch. It's snack. Where is my words on there it is. Get that launched. And then... Oh no! I have to download the updated version. Oh wait, no. I don't need to download that. That's the wrong... What? Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. Okay. If I click this, hopefully that will run words on stream. There we go. And then if I... Oh, did it... Oh my god, that was so quick. I didn't realize it was just automatically going to pop up. Heck. Okay, that's fine though. I will go grab my snack and I'll give you some rounds of words. I'll BRB. Hello, I am back. I hope it's been going all right. How are we doing? Ooh, oh, actually, I should probably... Sorry. He's kind of in the way, isn't he? My bad. Let me just... There you go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Now you can see tennis properly. Ooh, okay. coins. Wait, what about tins? Yeah, tins! I have my pan on chocolate. Oh. Hello. That's better. Now I'm in the corner. I'm not gonna obstruct the view too much. Ah, dear. Eee, nice. Joe, good morning. And Conalotto, good morning. I hope you're both doing well. Welcome on in. So far, we have George in number 1, Unpredictable in 2, then Anime, then myself, then Conalotto. Heck yeah, I'm sorry. Please go to sleep, George, if you need to. Oh dear. All right, I want to get at least one word in because am I winning? Not in words, that's for sure. Damn it, you got lifting so fast. What about? Yeah, here we go. I'm on the board. I just want to be on the board. Flint. Ooh. Ah, nice gift. Ooh. Filling. Oh. Would it be? Nope. Ignore me. I tried. Oh yeah, it's a Muse score. Yeah, Muse score. Nice and free and like relatively self-explanatory, so not too hard to use. Oh. Damn it. I tried, Lilt. I tried. Ting, of course. Tiling up. There's only 2 more to go. Ooh. Wow. You nearly got all of them. Heck. Good job, though. Alright. Scores on the doors. George did really well at that round, so I'm not surprised, but George has taken a strong commanding lead, followed by Unpredictable, Conalotto, myself, and Anime. We're good on this one, heck yeah. Oh, there we go. But we've got a lot of them off the bat there. Sybil. Is Sybil a word? I'd love it to be a word. Public. Oh, wait. Can I snipe? Probably not because. Oh no, there you go. Hey, I snipe. Thanks, George. This happens a lot where George or Unpredictables like do like a really long word, and then I come in and I take the shorter version of the same word that they've put. So they're like publicly, and I'm like perfect public. Ooh, maybe. Ooh. Hey. I'm just slowly removing letters from George's. Oh dear. You got the full first line already, Jesus Christ. I mean, we've already smashed this level. I got a lot of time left, but we've already done it. Cull. Oh, pull. What? getting hard at this stage. All the words I can see already exist. They're already real words on there. Lily. Ooh. I always thought Lily had 2 L's for some reason, but fair. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that last one is. Oh no, there's 2 more. 2 more. Licky. Blub. I like blub. But it doesn't matter, we're skipping 3 letters regardless. Once again, we've still got George in first place, followed by Unpredictable. I'm catching up a little bit. And then Kodolotto and Anime. Excuse me. Oh, I see a word. I see a word. Clover. I just can't type, it turns out. Lover! And love! Hell yeah, me and Connie had the same brain. Cove. Oh. Cover! Oh, nice. We've already done the level. We've not even got to the first unlock. What about... roll! Yeah. Oh dear. I almost thought I could spell Bovril, but I couldn't quite. Core and Law! Very nice. Back to back. Oh my god. Well, we've already got 2 left. Okay. Vor, it won't do. I was gonna say, someone's gonna say Vor. Just as a heads up, it won't let you use Vor. I'm so sorry. I've tried before. Oh, Vol. Vol it will do. Okay, one last one. I think it begins with an R, but I could be wrong. Oh, it could begin with an O. Oh! Over! Hey! Good job, Danny! Oh my god, completely down the board there. Alright, oval all now. Scores on the doors. George number 1, then Unpredictable, then me, then Kodolotto, then Danny, then Spudsy, and Anime. Heckin' good job. I'm smart. Very heckin' smart. Oh dear, Vola's kind of not word in chess. Oh, what do you mean? It's a small animal. It's like a small rodent style animal. Yeah, they live by rivers. Little rodent that lives by rivers. Do you have a website with pricing plans for the avatars? I have it on the Discord, Joe. I don't have like a current website for my stuff, but if you go on the Discord, you'll find the pricing, or !comms will take you to like the commission pages for both the VTubers, and there it is. So you've got the portfolio and then VTuber commissions, PNG tuber commissions, and then you'll see all of the prices as well as add-ons on there. Yes. There you go. Oh god, yeah, oh my god, you've all like zoomed ahead. Okay. Oh, you've already got that one. What about... Oh, teeth? Is that a word? Nope. Oh, what about... Oh. Yeah, I got on the board. Okay, I just need one. The... Oh, dear, athlete. Good job on the athlete, by the way, Kodolotto. Oh, dear. That. The and that. What? Did we ever work out what the fake letter was? Honestly, everyone was doing so well that I forgot there was one. Athlete. It's the U. There's no U. Okay, U is fake. Got you. U is fake. Thank you. Oh, dear. Elate! Excuse me, squeak and squeal. Oh, lather. Good word. Very nice. Oh dear. Hell yeah, good job everyone. Awesome Mama, good morning. I hope you're doing well. We just skipped the one level that time. By the way, our record is 18 if anyone is interested. All right, right now we have Jordan first, followed by Unpredictable, followed by Conolotto, who has now overtaken myself, and then Danny, and then Mama, and then Spudsy, and then Anime. Heck yeah. All right, we've got a fake Anna hidden. We got this. I see one word, but I don't know if it will go. Hey, glue. Okay, that means O or V would be fake. Clue. Nice. Lug. Lug. Evil. There's no. I used your word. You used my word. Yay! True. Yeah. Oh dear. No vague. Probably not an A then. And I get the feeling it's not an I either. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is. Oh, but it's difficult to say. Not A. No. Probably like annoying like a W. Always seems to be. Not an S. Could be maybe a double letter. Nope, not a double letter. Not an L. No O. Ugh. What could it be? I feel like the V is fake, to be honest. That's feeling like the fake one, but it could be wrong. It is V. It's D! Oh my god, I still can't see anything. Oh, dual glued. Oh, very good, very good. Oh, would that be, collude? Clued? Oh my god, we need one more. No! No! Heck. Oh, you did really well. That one was really hard. I feel like they should have given that one to us, to be honest. Like, that one felt a bit rude that they didn't give us that. All right, let's look at the final scores on the doors. We have Jordan number 1, followed by Connor Lottle, who overtook Unpredictable at last minute, then Unpredictable, then myself, then Mama, then Artsy, and then Danny, Spudsy, and A Boy Sod. So Discord link seems to be invalid. Is it? Let's have a look. Could be. Oh no, mine's launched. Give that one a go. Maybe that's the one you need. Oh dear. There's one in comms? Is there? Oh, you got a port. Oh, none of those are Discord links. One of them. Oh no, it is. Oh. Wait, is that not the same? Oh, that must be an old one then. Yeah, okay. That one might not work, but you've got one there. Oh dear. Travel. Good morning. Welcome on in. Also, I need to make sure this doesn't restart really quickly. No restarting. No, we're done. We'll probably come back to that later, but for now, we're done. Get rid of the Captain TV. Hello, welcome back, everyone. Ah, dear. There we go. Got a new book yesterday? No more words. I'm sorry. George needs to eat, yeah? Oh, dear. Oh, this is getting horrible. No, you've been very good. You've been consistently good at words on stream, Unpredictable. Ah, dear. Have you started the new book already, Danny? Oh, nah. I say, like, I'd say most people here are pretty consistently good at words. I'm not very good at it. I always try and get one word, and then like kind of like my brain stops after that. So I'm kind of like one word and done. Oh dear. Thing has a word at the end. Oh, maybe a space. That might be what it was. Yeah, that would explain it. I was like, I'm sure that I took them all from the same link, but there's a chance. Also, there is the extra link and the link underneath because I'm not going to sort it out while I'm live on stream. So if that one doesn't work for you, you have the link under the stream or ! Discord, and both of those should work. Yes. Oh, you started it last night? Heck yeah! Oh dear. My first shapes of things that are probably maybe us. Oh, sorry, I remembered. I want to talk to you guys about me being a smart bean. So we do actually technically, wink wink, nudge nudge, have a Discord link underneath the stream now, but it's not called Discord. It's called VTuber commissions. So it should be that the only people that will click it will be people that are interested in VTuber commissions. And the reason we have it like that is because otherwise people were getting banned and then coming into the Discord and being like rude dudes, and honestly that's just not worth it. So only people that can get to the Discord are people that can type !Discord in chat, which are people that aren't banned. However, technically, wink wink nudge nudge, there is actually a Discord link underneath there. It's just very secretive, and it's the VTuber commissions. Now that I've said it, it's a lot less secret, but I was very proud of myself. I was like, smart bean. Yes, pat on the head. Oh dear. Oh, page 100 already? Jesus Christ. Wow, you've been zooming through. I blame it to the English is my thing. Yeah, you know what, Spuzzy? You were doing very well. English is my only language, and I still struggle with words on stream. Oh, you have to go now. No, you're fine. Enjoy work. I hope that it goes okay for you. Take care of yourself. Hi, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. We just did some words on stream, but we're nearly finished this panel of smocking. How goes all the cosplay stuff? I hope it's going well. 10 out of 10 secret. But thank you. Yeah, I'm really good at keeping secrets, right? Really, really good at it. Oh dear. Have you been keeping up to date with Eurovision? Also, Jason, it's just a good morning. Have either of you been keeping up to date with Eurovision? Oh, nah. It's the finals tomorrow. We've been watching the semi-finals in the Discord as like watch-alongs, and it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. Ah dear. What's a subtle theme you have in the background? This is the Animal Crossing New Horizons OST. It's a really long OST, so it's really nice for streams. It's like 5 hours long, so you don't have to worry about changing it constantly. It's going alright, but at this point, I'm pretty sure TwitchCon cosplay isn't a thing. It's not. Sorry, Hut. Yeah, I posted it in my Discord, but you might not have seen it. I got a response from TwitchCon. The response is in the Discord in the general chat, but you might have to scroll up a little bit at this point. I also put it in another Discord as well. I got a response after waiting for, I want to say, a few months. They never posted publicly, but privately, I got a response saying that there would be no TwitchCon cosplay contest this year in Europe. They didn't mention Vegas, but because they haven't mentioned anything with Vegas, I'm going to assume that it's just there is no TwitchCon cosplay contest this year. I know someone else is reaching out to ask them about the rules for next year if they are making changes, because in the email that I got from them, it sounds like they're making some pretty big changes, which could be in how they present it, but it could also be to do with the rules, which means that we're all kind of a little bit up in the air with it. That's why I've kind of like full on decided like to switch over, and I'm doing Crown Champions. I'm not doing TwitchCon because while things are so up in the air, it's not worth planning for something that might not exist. So yes. We're really hopeful that the changes are things like, you know, taking away the you can only work on it for like a year kind of rule, because that would be a really good one, but we'll see. And I don't want to get my hopes up too much because I have no idea what they're thinking. Oh dear. It's going alright, but at this point I'm pretty sure the TwitchCon cosplay, oh sorry, I read that one. I'd still like to get the upper half done by the time games come out, so yeah, I can do cosplay and play the game, hell yeah. Dear. Also, not good morning. I hope you're doing well. You're in too many Discords, that's fair. It's like, yeah, so I can't remember exactly verbatim what the email said, but if you want to read it, it is still there. It's just you'll have to scroll up in the general chat, I'm sorry. Because I also don't remember where I saved it on my computer. I think I probably just saved it as a screenshot, which means it's gone. Next up, probably Sister the Battle! Ooh! Yee! That's a big build. Oh my god. Big hacking build? Big build time? Live on Twitch, big build? Heck yeah. I mean, I am always very, very in support of the larger cosplays. I think they're very fun. I just finished working now and I'm gonna wind down and watch it. Oh, bless you, enjoy your cross-stitch knot. I hope that it goes well. I hope that it's nice and relaxing as you want it to be. Heck yeah. And that you don't have to play fried chicken too often. You know? Ooh. Go. Been stuff back into the money pit of 40k, and I've been, spent 2 parts sculpting breastplates. Grace about to get rid of the power. Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah. Also, Zanzibar, welcome back in. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Did you watch Eurovision? Poe 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 Poe. It's the finals. I'm so excited. The finals are tomorrow. This cross stitch. I just get a cross-legged chair, and oh my god, a cross-legged chair? Oh, what now? I often sit like a gremlin. That sounds pretty good. How are you? I'm very, very excited. I'll be honest, I'm not super well right now. I have been having a few really intense migraines in a row, and I've been very sicky at night, so like my voice is like, ow, because yeah, like obviously it's not particularly good for your vocal cords to be that sicky, but other than that, I'm okay. I'm just sicky. And I've been sicky in the evenings for a while, so I guess it's okay, but other than that, I'm okay. I'm emotionally feeling great. It's just physically my body is caving in. But I'm happy though. I think that's probably the better. I personally would rather be in a position where like maybe my body was having a rough time, but mentally I was feeling pretty good, than like vice versa. So, but that's just my personal thing. I guess because I'm used to my body caving in, I find it easier to deal with as long as I'm feeling generally pretty okay. And I am feeling generally pretty okay. And are you excited for Eurovision? I'm so excited for Eurovision. I have like 5 favorites right now, or 6 favorites actually. Excuse me, silent hic. I really like Finland. I really like Czech. I like Australia and Austria. I liked Germany, and there was one, and Norway. Yes, I like all of them. I'm very excited for all their performances. Heck yeah! I'm really looking forward to hearing Sam Ryder and the Colette Orchestra play again at the finals tomorrow. I'm really excited to see how the voting goes, because it's the first time ever that they've got rid of the panel of judges kind of thing, so it's like it's only public voting. So all 100% of the vote is now done by the public for the first time ever, which is like really exciting, because it means there'll be basically a lot less politics as far as the voting goes, because it won't be like countries voting for each other, it'll all be individuals voting for their favorites. So I think there'll still be some politics involved, but like I think it'll be a lot less than usual, which is really exciting. Yee! You're going in totally blind, you haven't even heard the UK's. I like the UK's. My personal opinion on the UK's, it's a really nice song, but it's not very Eurovision. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but the UK song doesn't really feel... It feels like a good bop that you'd listen to getting ready on a Friday night kind of thing. It doesn't feel like a Eurovision song. So while I do like the song, and I think the performance is good, it's not Eurovision for me. It's not Eurovision enough. Yeah, it's just a good song. That's my personal opinion. I'm sure other people will really like it. Yeah. I don't think it holds too much of a candle to our performance last year, which did feel very Eurovision. Is there metal? You're gonna be eaten well tomorrow if that's what you're looking for. There's a few. I'd say none of them are like full metal, but a lot of them have metal elements. I think the 3 that you'll probably enjoy then would be Finland, which is a bit more like techno-ish. Honestly, Finland, do you know, is it called Electric Callboy? Electric Callboy? I think that's the band I'm thinking of. Finland gives me vibes of that band. So if you like them, you'll probably like Finland's. If you're more maybe like traditional rock and roll with a bit of metal in there, Australia will probably be the one for you. And then Germany is a bit of a dark horse in this one, because you don't hear the full of Germany's performance because they are one of the big 5. But yeah, Finland doing metal, don't be ridiculous. That couldn't be Finland. It's not like they've done it a few times at this point. It's not like they have a history. Oh my god. But yeah, I Finland's personally is my favorite performance this year. Just I like the performance in the song. I think I really like Czechs as well, but I think for me it's Finland, which is the cha 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 song, where it's like it's good. It's good. I just really like it. It's very, very catchy. Yeah. I love the Italian metal winner from 2021. Oh, Maneskin. Yeah. Yeah, they were fantastic. Honestly, again, like they had the whole vibe. The outfits, the stage presence, and the song all together was like they knocked it out of the park. They were very, very good. I also loved them last year where they were like giving advice to other contestants. They were like, they were asked on stage, like, what advice would you give to our contestants this year? They were like, have fun and don't get too close to the table, because after their performance everyone accused them of doing coke right in front of the cameras, because one of them like leant down and put his like nose next to the table and everyone was like, he's doing drugs. It was so funny. Oh my god. 10 out of 10. Hilarious. Just Eurovision stuff. To be fair, it did look very suspicious. It's just the context of like they were surrounded by people. There is no way they were doing that. Like the context makes it very easy to disprove. It's just the particular camera they went to at the angle he was at, it did look like he leant down and snorted stuff off the table. It's so funny. Oh dear. I love Eurovision. Eurovision's great. But yeah, no, you're going to be eating well today. Or tomorrow even. Also, Vagrant, welcome on in. How was your stream? I hope that it went well. What, who? What, who, where, why? Andy, good morning. And Magnus, good morning. And Studio, good morning. Let me just do you a shout out, unknown. How was your stream? I hope that it went really well. We're all gushing about Eurovision right now. Ah, dear. It's going to be odd having the UK host and not Euro Androids we usually have. Yeah, the UK. Weird. Jelly, Handy, welcome on in. And Colin, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. An unknown raid baby. Wait, what? Who? Where? Why? Nobody knows. I don't know. Magnus, welcome on in. Hello, hi. I hope your stream went well, unknown. What were you up to? For anyone new here, my name is Jelly. I am a cosplay crafter in the YouTube? In the UK, I am a cosplay crafter in the UK. I make cosplays, we do lots of crafts, but thank you for the pets, Senor. But also, I make VTuber models as commissions. So I'm an artist, crafter, yeah. And at the moment we're doing smocking. I can show you kind of the progression. This is one I'm still working on. This is what this piece will look like when it's finished. And then once I add all the extra details, bells and whistles, this is what it ends up looking like. And then I trim it and put edging on it. So eventually it'll look like this, but this is the wrong color. Yee! We're right at the beginning though. Did the streamer really well, thanks. What were you up to? What were you doing? Wait, I did shout you out. You were just chatting. How was your chats? Were they good? Were they about Eurovision? I've been talking about Eurovision for approximately 2.5 hours now. Just non-stop. I wish I had a TV for the first time in ages. Oh, wait, is it for Eurovision? Because you can watch Eurovision on YouTube if that helps, Handy. They broadcast it live on YouTube. They have like a live stream for it. We did that last year as well. Love hearing you rate. There's so many wha sounds. So I do I do smocking. Smocking at the moment. Although we do, actually wait, I can show you. I can show you the kind of costumes we make. 2 seconds. Here they are. This is the kind of costume I make. That is me when I'm not using my VTuber body. I do costumes that focus on beading, sequin, and embroidery. So in this particular case, all of the gold is bead, sequins, and embroidery. Actually all of it. It took about 2,000 hours. These are the kind of costumes I do. And we have only just started this costume. It's very, very new. I'm expecting to finish it in about just less than 16 months if everything goes well. So it's going to be over a year from now that this will finish. But it's cool. We're entering it hopefully into World Champions, so it'll be worth it. Also, Colin, thank you so much for the follow. And Small, thank you for the follow as well. It's heckin' kind of you. Oh dear, they were very unknown. A decent conversation. Heck yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's me being very, very anxious and very, very nervous because there were a lot of people watching. I was very spooked. Thank you. Epic. Is there a link to your Discord to the Eurovision online? Exclamation mark Discord. And I will get you. I'll just get you the link right now. Listen, I've been going through Eurovision song after Eurovision song after Eurovision song, like as if I don't have the link to hand. Like, excuse me. What I will say is, if you're in the UK, you may need to use a VPN to access it because BBC is. So I use a VPN, I go to Germany for the day and I watch Eurovision. So yes, there you go. You got it. So if you need one, that's the link. That's where all the live streams are. If you are, again, a country that can view these live streams, you'll actually already see the waiting room. So that's, you also see the previous live streams because they did the grand final last year and that was, oh my god, it was so much fun. I had so much fun. So yeah, if, you know, just like an impromptu trip to Germany, if you can't see it. That's what I've been doing. I've gone to Germany twice this week. Oh dear. Yeah, I hope everyone, I should say, actually wait, really quickly. Unknown, if you need to go look after yourself after stream, obviously as much as we like having you here and you're very, very welcome, completely understand if you need to go get some snacks or sleep or anything like that, or you have other things to do after your stream, yes, don't feel bad, please just go, you're all good. Unless you want to stay, in which case, welcome to Eurovision chats. My stream is actually inspired by the Austrian entry who have done this year an entire song about Edgar Allan Poe, which is literally the chorus is just Poe, 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 Poe. chorus to Austria's song. I don't know what possessed them to do it, but it's so funny and I love it. And everyone in the chorus is like, yeah, no, like you can hear the audience singing along because the audience know the lyrics. So it's like you have the performers being like, yeah, yeah, and the audience is like, yeah, Poe, Poe, Poe. It's really cute. I love it. Oh my god, it warms your heart seeing stuff like that. Oh yeah, there's the Discord link. Thank you. Yeah, if you're interested in joining, the final is tomorrow. We'll be doing a watch along. It starts at 8 p.m. BST. Probably I'll have it like a little early just so that you can watch the countdown if you want. But yeah, it starts at 8 p.m. BST. The show tomorrow will be about 4 hours long, just as a heads up. So it is a little longer than the semi-finals because we have just watched the 2 semi-finals. The semi-finals are about 2.5 hours each, whereas the finals will go till midnight. So it is a bit longer. But I will say the semi-finals zoomed by, like they shot off. So hopefully it should be okay. Thank you. I'm gonna get myself sorted. You're fine. Thank you for the lurk. Take care of yourself. Oh dear. Also, yeah, I do make VTubers. I make little VTubers for funsies. Although now I am also a professional artist. For the first time ever in my life, I am professional because I do commissions, but I do commissions mainly just for like chibi style models. If you're curious, that's my portfolio. I think I have one on the burner right now, and then I'll have a free waiting list, so you wouldn't have to wait too long. The one I'm making at the moment, some of you saw it yesterday on stream. I've been so lucky. The designs have all been on point. It's so nice. You're at work? Oh, handy. What, doing Eurovision? What I'd say then is a lot of people, it's because like a lot of people can't watch the whole of the performance because it does go on kind of late and like with work and stuff like that. The live stream will be like uploaded to that same channels that I posted just a minute ago. So if you miss it, you can still watch it the day after in your own time. Yeah, like, it's very unfortunate. Last year, I took 3 weeks off work around Eurovision. 2 weeks were for Eurovision itself, and then the last week was because it happened to be MCM at about the same time, which is a convention I was going to. So I took 3 weeks in a row, and when my manager asked why I wanted so much time, I was like, I'm sorry, it's Eurovision season, I have to leave. So I took 3 weeks off, primarily for Eurovision last year. And you know what? I regret none of it. I had a great time. Oh, dear. I wasn't even the only person as well on my team that took that. Like, it was thought over time off. Like, a few of us wanted that time off so that we could do it. I think everyone got it that wanted to because it's Eurovision. Like, what you gonna do? We have to have that time off. It's the only culture we have. I think I'm about to go to work now. Also, oh no, you're fine. Good luck with work, Handy. Thank you so much for popping by. Hopefully that link to the Eurovision stuff can help you after you finish work. Yes. Ah! Excuse me. Also have to excuse me. I'm a little wheezy today. I'm gonna go for as long as I can because there's quite a lot of smocking stuff that I actually want to get done. But there's a fair chance at some point that I'm probably gonna start losing my voice today. And so whenever that happens, I'll probably end stream. Hopefully not for an hour or so, but we'll keep an eye on it because I need my cheering voice to be 100% for Eurovision tomorrow. And also tomorrow I kind of want to do like a special stream because today I was going to do a music stream today, but I just wasn't quite feeling well enough to do it, to be honest. But I figured what would be kind of fun tomorrow would be if we, sorry, I'm very in the Eurovision sphere right now, okay? So what if we made like a fancy outfit together for Eurovision? Because the fun thing about Eurovision is fashion is kind of limitless at Eurovision. So I'm not saying that we necessarily like copy any of the outfits that currently exist, but more make an outfit that would be you know, one that you could wear to Eurovision. Yeah. Thank you, Handy. Take care of yourself. Good luck with work. I hope it goes well. So that's my current plan for tomorrow's stream. It does mean it'll probably be quite a long stream, just because obviously like making an entire outfit in a day is like quite a lot. But I think it'll be fun. The only thing is that tomorrow we do have some builders around, so it'll probably be a little bit loud in the morning. But then if I'm also using the sewing machine and stuff, then it will already be kind of loud, is my thought. So I think it'll be okay. So yeah, current plan for tomorrow is do kind of a special long stream celebrating Eurovision and do that. Which color will it be? Yellow, orange, or sparkle? Well, I don't know. I need to go through my fabric storage because it'll probably be whatever I have enough fabric for to make like a whole outfit coherent. I mean, we could probably design it today if you wanted to. I can just quickly knit through my fabric box. I mean, they're in the other room is the only thing. So I would be kind of, I'm trying to think, okay. I know that for like, okay, bear in mind, if we're making a full outfit, there's probably some guidelines. Like, I'm probably not going to make like a 3-piece suit, because a 3-piece suit in one day, while probably technically possible, would be so much work. So I'm going to put like a bit of a hard limit on, you know, how many pieces we're making. So either we put like a lot of effort into one piece, which is what I'm kind of leaning towards, or do like a more chill few pieces. So I do know I have a couple of interesting fabrics at the moment. I have a red scuba, like a bright red scuba, that I probably have enough of to make an outfit out of. So if I wanted like a tight dress, I might have a stretch velvet cow print. We could. I mean, that would be a vibe. How? 2 seconds, do you mind if I just check to see how much I've got of that? Because if I have enough, I could make an entire cow print outfit. 2 seconds, I'm just gonna like zoom next door. I'll be right back. I have a lot. I have a lot of cow. 2 seconds. Let me get my headset on, make sure everything's okay. Move this to one side. Look at how much. Why do I have this amount of cow print fabric? There's so much. And it's kind of shiny and like, it's not sparkly, but because it's like a velvet kind of, it's got like that shine to it. That might be a vibe. Like, maybe. But like, it's stretchy is the thing, so I don't. Well, it's only one-way stretch, I suppose. I'm not sure what you could make out of this, but this feels like a dramatic enough print for Eurovision. I think I'd need to bedazzle it a little bit, because right now this isn't feeling very. Like, it needs beads and sparkles and stuff like that. Alright, we're gonna do some more smocking. Once we finish the smocking, we might do a bit of a detour and just quickly design the outfit for tomorrow based around the idea that it's going to be cow print. Because I think that might be kind of fun. And it helped me set up for tomorrow as well, because it's already gonna be kind of an intense stream. Yeah, I didn't want to copy anyone's current outfit because, like, first of all, there's a few people I'm supporting. So like, I don't want to be like, oh, I've made Finland's outfit, but I'm, you know, there are other countries that I'm also supporting tomorrow other than Finland. As much as I do like Finland, it's like there's a few. Oh dear. But also because it's kind of more fun. I don't have a lot of pink actually, anime, because otherwise I could have done like a pink thing. You know the amount of pink suits people were wearing yesterday? Like, pink and suits were like on fashion for Eurovision tomorrow. Oh, sorry, yesterday. It was interesting. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I like a good pink suit. It was just kind of surprising because it was like one after the other at one point. It was just like pink, 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 pink. I got the stickers for my wooden bobbins. I spent like 4 hours last night. Oh, reminding all my thread and ordering the colours. Yes, please do. When you pop the link in the Discord, let me know as well so I can go check it out. Heck yeah. Oh, I've been looking at storage solutions again, which is you shouldn't look at storage solutions unless you're expected to buy a storage solution, because there are now so many storage solutions that I would like to buy. I definitely don't need. It's in Crafts Chat. Thank you. Let's have a look. See. Bam. Oh my god. That is so aesthetically pleasing. Oh. Oh. Oh, I'm very jealous. That's so nice. Oh my god. Heck yeah. Wait, I need to put an emote on it so I can be like, wah. There you go. Oh my god. That is heckin' lovely. Oh, thank you. So worth the time. Yeah, that's exactly like, this is a problem with like when I look at storage solutions, I see people do stuff like that and I'm like, I want to do that. I'm sure it takes a lot of time to get things sorted out so they look that neat. But at the same time, it's Pinterest, that's what it is. It's the Pinterest storage solutions. And it means every time I like look at Wilco or something like that, I'm like, I could do this. I can do this. Or like the Works. You know like how the Works has like the cutout wooden boxes and stuff that you're meant to like paint and decorate? Every time I look at them I'm like, yeah, I totally have time to do this. I absolutely do not have time to do that. Yeah, like 4 hours? Oh god. Alright. That needs a little knot, and then this is actually the last piece. We've zoomed through. Again, like smocking, it seems really, really complicated, and it you know, when you're still practicing, it does feel a little complicated, but it's actually not. It's just the same thing over and over again, and like, literally, I have not talked about smocking, I think, even once doing this, because I don't need to concentrate that hard. Like, there are things you need to concentrate with, but I feel like smocking is not one of them, at least not once you get a bit more confident with it. Because it's just the same pattern over and over and over again. I love it. I love it. Honestly, recommend it to anyone. Anyone who's looking to like make an outfit or costume with like a bit more texture, highly recommend smocking. Really fun, really relaxing, honestly. I love a good relaxing craft where you don't have to worry about it too much and it's relatively simple. All the pieces just kind of fall into place. Like, yes, it takes a long time, but it's relaxing. It's relaxing time. It's in the same way like cross stitch takes a long time, but like, you don't have to stress too much. It's just relaxing work. There we go. That is now another piece. These are both really small pieces, to be fair, so these are a little bit quicker. But that's both our small pieces done. What I'll do is I'll get these painted for next stream, and then instead of painting them right now, we're going to do some outfit designing. Oh dear, who can I blame for this? I don't want to blame myself. Who can I blame? Can I blame anime maybe? Is that an empty sketch pad or is this full? Sorry, I've like filled up all of my sketch pads recently because I've been doing, oh, there goes that. I've been doing all of my like one drawing a day kind of stuff. So because I did a lot of it by hand. Yeah, that sketch pad's completely full. They're all completely like full of my doodles and sketches from each day. Oh dear. You can, I blame you. Thank you, Anime Sweet Bean. I might just grab the printer paper then, because like, God, all these goddamn noises. Give me the paper. Thank you. It's gonna be a little bit bent, but that's okay. Okay. Let's quickly just draw a person. If I was going to draw it's been a minute since I've drawn like I guess a more person-y body, because I've been doing more like what do you call it, chibi-esque, so it's been like a heckin' minute. Let's do like and there, and we'll put like a leg there. Oh, that's gonna be, the legs are too long. We can't do that. They're gonna have thick thighs because I always draw characters with really, really thick thighs, and I'm actually not that sorry. Like, to be fair though, I'm making the outfit for me, right? And I'm definitely more bottom heavy, so we're making it accurate for me, since this is an outfit for me, which will mean that it'll have to be more bottom heavy. I'm sorry. It's just, oh, that leg's really weird. That's okay. Why leg be so weird? And then too high. And down to there. Get that to there, get that to there. And my honestly, I need to find my pencil sharpener. Did I put it over here? Yeah, I did. Okay. My poor pencil is so dull at this point. It's trying its hardest. Pinterest is my art motivator. For every time I put boom, yeah, I open it. Oh dear. Yeah, honestly, kind of same. Pinterest, but also more recently, I hesitate to admit this, TikTok. I've been following a lot of crocheters on TikTok, and yeah, I don't know. Something about like seeing other people do crochet and stuff. It's been kind of making me want to do it more. But then also TikTok is terrible at the same time, because like it makes you want to take up new skills that you do not have the time for. So then you're like taking up all these new skills where it's like, where can I fit these? Excuse me, I can't fit these anywhere. Okay. Also, I apologize, this is a very rushed version of a person, but I think I think it's okay. Right? Like, that'll do, right? Like, they're still a bit chibi-esque. Honestly, it's because I give them such big heads. It's my own fault. If I gave them, like, more reasonable size heads, I just really like making the really big heads. You know? Okay, it's a little less chibi-esque. Okay, let's solidify the outline really quickly so that we can design. Oh wait, I haven't given her any boobs or anything. Probably should. And... there you go. That'll do. Actually, that should be a bit wider. There we are. That'll do. I don't imagine that I'm going to go down all the way to the feet and design anything specific for the feet, so not too worried about that. Okay. I also don't think, the same reason for the hands, to be honest, I just don't think I'm going to do anything for the hands. That'll do. We have a vague body that could be mine. Close enough. Oh dear. I know it's so fun, but I get excited, then I get excited because I'm excited, yes! I could finally sell at the, oh my god, I'm kind of jealous. I probably couldn't because of like sitting at the desk and stuff, but like, damn, I kind of would like to. I don't have very strong shoulders, like, I have wide shoulders, but they're not super strong. I'm also not very happy with the boobas. 2 seconds. They feel like they're too high, I think? This is when it'd be useful to have like a mirror or something in here. It's like, that's there. Okay. I'm a little happier with that. Like, bring it in a bit. Probably a bit big, but they're romantic. That'll do. Okay. I think the problem is the body's not long enough, and if we're copying me, I have a very long body and like not so long legs, to be honest. I could probably make it appear longer just by moving that down a little bit though. There you go. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Yes, please put it into my Discord. Please put it in my live stream chat or my general chat. Just put it somewhere. I want to see it. All right. Cow print. So Eurovision is kind of like layering the same color over and over again, but can you do that with cow print? Or should I just go for like a really dramatic dress? Because I mean, it's kind of stretchy is the thing. I don't know how easy it would be, but I feel like... Oh, it's a live stream, thank you! Where could I... Oh my god, I love it! Wide pants. Yeah, I think wide pants. Either really tight or really wide. Thing is... From that one performance, yeah, the really, really wide pants. The thing is, so this is a stretch fabric. This is a stretch fabric, which means it's not very good for flare, if that makes sense. And I don't know how much interfacing I've got that would make it good for like a strong flare. Because the flare you're talking about, anime, would be from a stiff fabric. Like those really big poofy ones. That fabric would have nearly 100% been like a stiffer fabric because it helps it create that like shape. Whereas this will sag a lot because it's stretchy. Which would mean it would be more... It would probably look a little better as like a tight to the skin, which means maybe we need more than one thing, because like I could do part, unless I want to make like a full bodysuit out of cow print, which to be fair is a lot, but I mean, I don't hate the idea. The only way that I could make this stiff would be to interface it, and I probably have enough interfacing for a small piece, but I don't think I have enough interfacing lying around for like a big piece. So like a hat or something like that I could probably do. We could make a cow print bucket hat. Because the winner last year wore a bucket hat. You know what, I'm this is not the outfit at all. This is just, I really like bucket hats. How do you draw a bucket hat? Excuse me. How does one... It's like a... Like that, maybe? Yeah, I think it's something like that. I'm feeling a bucket hat. But then the rest of it, because I probably have the interfacing where I could do that, to be honest. God, it's always really hard when you're working with what you've got, because like, if I had this and that and the other, I could do so much, but that's not Not what we're here for. We're here for bucket hat. Okay, so we're gonna cut off no suit because I don't want to wear a suit, but also I do want to wear a suit. I always want to wear a suit, but I don't want to make a suit in a day. I'm going to lean towards a dress being the easiest way to make a full outfit in a day, because dresses tend to be a little easier. So I'm going to probably lean towards making this a dress. What? I could. I wonder if I still have a pattern for this. Cow print dress, yeah. What kind? I could maybe do a bodysuit and like cut it off at like here. So it'd be like a shorter bodysuit. And then maybe have something attached at like the legs so I'd have it come down into something else. Because that wouldn't be too bad. That wouldn't be like making full trousers at least. And then I'd still get the flared leg. It'd just probably have to be out of... What do I have that I could interface this with, like, actually? I mean, I could always interface it. I could just line it with a piece of cotton or something, I suppose, and that would kind of work. It'd be a bit of a pain because it'd be two separate pieces, but I could physically do it. A skater dress? I wish I could do skater dresses. If I altered a pattern, I could do a skater dress. It's because I have a really long body, so skater dresses tend to show like a bit too much of the goods for me because I'm short leg, long bodied. But I could alter the pattern so that that wasn't the case. It'd just probably look a little long on me. This is the other problem. Welcome to the body proportions problem. I have very short legs. Yeah, so like, I have very, very short legs, so short dresses don't tend to look super good on me because, or like, I guess dresses that are meant to cover bits don't tend to look super good on me because my legs are really, really short. And so I tend to look like I just have even shorter legs or it shows too much. It's why I tend to I like suits. Suits are good. They emphasize the bits that they want to emphasize, but I just don't want to make a full suit in a day. A t-shirt dress. I could do a t-shirt dress. No, actually, no, I don't want to do a t-shirt dress. Another reason, because, again, this is a body proportions kind of thing. I am very big in the chest, so a t-shirt dress makes me look like a tent. I remember why I don't wear t-shirt dresses, or at least I don't wear them in public, because they make me look like a tent, and I'm okay. I have a shape underneath that tent, and I'm okay with showing that shape. I'd rather not be a tent. You know what? We're gonna stick with the flared leg idea from anime. I'm just going to cut them off a little bit so that they are not quite so like trouserish, because again, we're considering how much leg, like, or how much work I want to do in a day. But I get where anime is coming from because that was a really big thing in yesterday's. So let's do like a half and half leg. I still have some lingerie stuff, so what I can do is I can have them as like, you know, like, how to put it? They'll have straps up to something here, so that we still have our legs. It's stretchy fabric, you can bring it in at the waist. I can, but... Oh dear, how about flared sleeves? Okay, we are getting to a point where I might be running out of fabric. I think I have 3 meters of this. So I think you'll have to pick either the flared leg or the flared sleeve, or we'll run out of fabric. I like the idea, but we will run out. I could probably make some scrunchies or something. If I have some left over. I still don't know what I'm doing with my body. I've got the legs, but nothing to attach them to. Didn't someone do assless chaps? I must have a pattern for assless chaps somewhere. 2 seconds, let me just have a look. I know I have a really good bodysuit pattern that I could adapt to legs if I need to, because I have an older pattern that I was using for a while that fit me really well. So I could print that out again if I need to. Not that I'd like to, I don't print it, but I can. Let's see, where is my sewing pattern? So they are sewing patterns. Is it this one? I have a couple of really, I have a couple of really good bodysuits, to be honest. One for Belgian's performance. Wait, what does Belgian's performance look like? Oh, yeah, they're the ones with the asses chaps, aren't they? Yeah, this is with the bucket, because he had a hat as well, didn't he? But he didn't have a bucket hat, he had a different hat. So it's okay, it's different. I think... God, it's hard, it's hard. But I'm thinking, I have a good bodysuit pattern, so I know that that already works. And that would give me something to attach it to. I'm not saying that we stop at the bodysuit, because I probably would want to be like a little bit more covered than that, to be honest. But I could have that. I could make like some sort of thing that would go over the top here, like a frill. But then I'm gonna be running out of fabric if I do pleats. There's a problem with stuff like that. It's like it's gonna run out. Pleats take so much fabric. Let me just double check what bodysuits I'm looking at as well, because I have a few. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Although I do like that one. It's not that. Is it this one? Yes, this is the bodysuit I like. So this is kind of like it'll come up relatively high, but I might cut that down a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe cut it down. I could have it strapless, to be fair, and then just have like a halter neck or something. I would kind of like something over the top of this. Do you mind if I might have some sheer fabric or something? In fact, I'm 99% sure I do have sheer fabric. In fact, it might even be in this room. Because like a sheer white or something over the top of this would help me cover up a little bit. Or I could have... Help it, bolero. Bolero. How can I... Whoa. Bolero. I want... Oh man, I wish I had like a fluffy cow print as well as like the standard. Oh, that would have been so cool. Bolero. Put that there. Bolero. I guess my shoulder's covered a little bit, which is nice. It just feels like I like the idea here. I could. I could, I guess, have this come out a bit more skater-ish. It'd be short, but I guess I would have a bodysuit underneath. It wouldn't be too bad. If I have this come out... So I just quickly get all those lines in. And then I'd have that underneath. So I would go to the bodysuit underneath and then have that as an extra layer over the top. I think I've drawn these a little high up, to be fair. Let me just scoot these down the legs a little bit. The idea is fine, it's just a little high. And then have those bits like there and there. It's a heckin' look as far as like the silhouette goes. We will almost definitely be out of fabric at this point. Like, I've run out of fabric at this point, I think. For the skirt, for everything. It might end up that I have to prioritize the order that I make it so that we have the most important elements, like do the body, then do the legs, and then the hat and the bolero last, so that I make sure that I've got as much as possible done. But actually, this is a stupid outfit. Oh, also, as far as lining goes, because with like the skirt, with the bolero, there'll be an inside color. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what fabric would we want to combine it with? Because there will need to be an inside color to some of it. What color? I have probably enough for like a lining for a few colors. I think probably not pink, unfortunately. I definitely have purple. I always have gold. I could do gold. Gold and cow print, oh my god. Wait, well, while I'm considering my options, I'm just going to start filling this in so you guys can at least see the kind of design like I was thinking of. Oh my god. I don't know how much blue I've got left. I feel like I probably have some. And get that to here and to here, and then just get that there, and then to there. Oh, I need a tissue to wipe up my thingy, my pen. Oh dear. I know the Eurovision, but cow print and gold suit's very on brand for me. I think the thing is, okay, I might actually, potentially just for the design, remove the bolero and the cow print hat, just so we can focus more on the main outfit. Just because, as far as Eurovision goes, I would really like for this to be quite beady and sequiny, and obviously that takes a really long time. But I do also think that it takes priority over like having new elements if the current elements are like more Eurovision. So what I might do is have those as like a, if I have the time I will add them kind of, but then if I don't, we've got the main body and the main body feels right. So I'm gonna remove the hat for now. No hat. No, as much as I like hat and as much as I like bolero, no hat, no bolero just yet. We'll work on like just getting this part done, because even this in a day would be hard. But look good if it's either shiny or I know. I just you know and you're like, I just love a fluffy bolero. I just love a fluffy bolero. But I know I don't have any fabric to make it fluffy. If I had any lying around, I would have been immediately like, this is the fabric for it. But yeah, I don't keep fabric like that around most of the time because it's quite messy. And also it's expensive, to be fair. It is an expensive fabric. Very, very nice and definitely worth the price. But very expensive. There we go. We have our puffy trousers from yesterday's semi-final, which were very, very popular and everyone seemed to be wearing. And we'll have them in cow print, which means they will need something to go inside of them, but we can do gold. Enough gold. There'll be a bodysuit underneath that, so I don't have to worry about being like showing too much. There'll be bodysuit. And it's a nice one because it goes kind of low on the legs, so the bodysuit almost looks like it's like hot pants. So yeah, that's the reason I like it so much, because if you do accidentally see it, it looks like shorts, which is nice. 10 out of 10. I appreciate a bodysuit like that. The cow print. Should I draw the cow print into this design? I'm not sure. I also realised that I don't really need to draw the arms because I'm not going to have enough fabric for arms, nor do I really need to draw the face. So you know what? I'll cut them off. If I don't need them, I'll cut them off. There we go. And as far as the head goes, we'll cut that off for now, with the knowledge that once again, if I have the time, I will add stuff. Yeah. Shoes. I could just wear some shoes that I already own. I own some nice, good, chunky shoes, perfect for Eurovision. You're happy to fur fabric from a bargain bin at the local craft at the cat clinic. Oh no. Honestly, understandable, and I get where your cat's coming from. It is a bit of a shame, but I get it. You know, I can't deny them. That's very fair. I might really quickly have this as like a, because it's not really, Eurovision is not really about emphasizing your shape a lot. Well, I guess it kind of is and it kind of isn't. Eurovision's really weird. Fashion in Eurovision is weird, but I'm thinking I might have that come out directly under the bust. So like it comes in under the bust, so it's not like, again, like I'm not becoming a tent, but it comes out pretty early. I think would be kind of fun. Yeah. More like being like Christmas tree is shaped. Yeah. Okay. I can do this. This is doable. I think I have the pattern line. I'm gonna have to just look at the pattern books. I'm sure that I have it. I'm gonna draw some cow print onto this as well. I think it's very important that the design is like clear that it is a cow print dress. Because that's kind of, the only thing is, again, I kind of wanna, but gold would be perfect in many ways. Because if we end up going for the gold inside, or the silver inside for that matter, I have a lot of gold beads. Like a lot of gold beads. So like when it comes to like beading the costume and stuff, it should be really easy because I already have like lots of beads. And I do think that it will need at least some sparkle on it. Again, like save some time so that we can add that sparkle later because, like, you know, Eurovision is a very sparkly contest. You need some sparkle on your outfit. I don't think we'll get as much as like an actual Eurovision entry because they have months to make those costumes. But we'll have like enough sparkle in our own right. Oh dear, I can bead quite a lot in one day. I have some big beads as well, which makes it a bit easier. And do like a little one there. There I go. That's a bit more obviously cow print now, right? And then we can do the same thing. Oh god, it's gonna be so intense. Oh, but we can have like the gold trim as well. I won't use the one that I'm using for this cosplay because that is quite an expensive one, but I think I probably have some lying around from Mateus still. Or maybe something similar from around that time. I know I definitely have like a yellow if I don't have a gold, because I probably don't want to waste time tomorrow doing bias tape again. Very short time frame to make a very extravagant costume. It also is probably going to be like, if it gets too late in the day, I'll have to stop anyway, because Eurovision will start and I won't have eaten dinner. Oh my god. I can very much imagine that happening. Like, hi, I'm making my Eurovision costume, except I have to stop because literally Eurovision is starting. Alright. Get that there. And there. We're going to be going into this with no prior patterns and check. Like, we won't be able to check these patterns if they work, but I'm relatively confident I can make this, to be honest. I am also just gonna wait. Because I don't want it to read the same as the cow print fabric. Like, it is meant to be a different fabric. Probably do the same thing. Could even actually properly outline that. I think that might be nice. And just do the same thing so it doesn't read the same. Ah yes, just my Tuesday garb. My cow print suspender Eurovision sparkly outfit. To be fair though, this does feel Eurovision. This is what I mean when I'm like, there's sort of feeling about things with Eurovision. Like, it's very over the top, it's very dramatic, even the small parts are kind of dramatic. There's big prints, big colours, like lots of contrast as well, often even between the people on the stage at the same time. Yeah. Oh dear. It's very Eurovision. Okay. I think as a base, could put the ear. Yeah, actually we could. Yeah, that might be really. Oh my god, I wish I could do that over the whole thing now, though. I won't be able to do it tomorrow, but if it's something that we start, like maybe get a few of them done, like a few specific ones, I could always go back and add more patches, like more beads on it later for next Eurovision. You know, for next Eurovision, I could do that. And then just. There you go. Oh, okay. So I have to like keep wiping my pen because I use it on fabric, so it gets like really icky really quickly. Alright, so tomorrow on stream, taking a quick break from regular cosplay activity to quickly make this monstrosity. But it's gonna be really cute. I don't know, I think it'll be cute. I'm a bit worried about this dress on my body type, but we can give it a go. We can give it a go. I think everyone has their things, right? For me, it's like you have to have it come in underneath the bust, around the waist, ideally, but like it has to at the very least come on under the bust. I think anyone with a bigger chest often feels like that. I mean, to be fair, listen, you wear what you're comfortable with, but personally, I don't like it when, like t-shirt dresses, for instance, when they don't come back in again, when they're just meant to hang flat. That stuff doesn't look good on me. Like, can I wear it? Yeah, I can wear it, but I would rather not. It just makes me look like a tent, and it like all the parts of my shapes that I'm like I like are just immediately hidden because of the t-shirt dress. And like skater dresses I also have a bit of a problem with because they don't hit at the waist for me, they hit above the waist, and then they kind of hit above the crotch a lot of the time as well because I have a really long body. So like a skater dress is just like, Yeah, I wish I could pull it off, like genuinely, but I have a really long body and really short legs, so that's why I tend to wear maxi dresses or midi dresses for the most part, rather than like shorter ones, because it's no point. You'll see my goodies, and I'm not about that. They have a huge bust, and that's what I like. Yeah, I wish I could get away with a t-shirt dress, but it wouldn't vibe for me. Not for me personally. Yeah, but this I think should be okay. It's a little high here than I would normally like it, but I think it should be okay. Yeah, and then I'll make the bodysuit underneath just in case. For safeties. Just for safety. And then the legs are fine. The legs will be fine. Okay. Heck yeah. It doesn't mean we have to have face on show tomorrow. I mean, I could probably do some appropriately cow printy makeup, I'm sure. And so I can go full cow. What did you go for Eurovision? I went as a cow. I had a lot of cow print fabric. I became cow. To be fair, this is why I buy these fabrics. It's for silly projects like this. All right, I am going to end stream there today because I am feeling my voice a bit cracky, and also I don't want to start a really big part that I can't finish, or I can't even get close to finishing. But tomorrow, big street, very big street. Make a headband. God damn it, I do want that now. I'll put them on a hat. We'll see how much fabric we have left. I would like that, but I'm not gonna do it right now. We'll see what we've got. All right, 2 secs, and I'm gonna, oh my god, I can raid you into Sunkoi. Lovely. Sunkoi recently, they placed in a heckin', I think it was 40k cosplay competition. They did really, really well. They looked fantastic. So if you guys have an interest in cosplay, like actually stick around. This is an award-winning cosplayer right here. Let me get you the raid calls and the sub raid, and then also I'll just shout them out in case any of you get left behind in the raid. There you go. That should be everything I need to do. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a super special stream for no particular reason, just for fun. We're going to be making a Eurovision competition. We're going to make a Eurovision costume, a costume you might see at Eurovision. That's what we'll be doing because I'm very excited about the Eurovision final tomorrow. So yes, this is the vibe that I want to do. I know it's not what we're currently doing, and we keep doing different things, but I'm having a really good time. Otherwise, I will see you all later. I'm going to send you to Sunkoi. Make sure you're all good and send them lots of love. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Have a lovely rest of your day.